Hello, folks, and welcome. This is the Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're gathering during this time of giving and world peace and goodwill to all to play a cutthroat, semi-cooperative game of Nemesis.
Yep. It's going to be a good game. I'm going to just briefly go over some important stuff in the game. Most everything that you're going to need is going to be in this rule summary off to the left there. And that's going to go over the basic flow of the game. The game goes over two different phases. You're going to have the player phase and the event phase. Basically, the player phase is when the player gets to go, and the event phase is when the intruders get to go. Each player was given out 2 objective cards, one normal and one corporate. If you look at mine, you'll notice that I have 2 corporate ones, and that's because I picked the android. We'll go over which one we picked in a minute, but throughout the game, we're going to continue going until a couple different things happen. Either everyone is removed from the board for various different reasons. We get to the end of the countdown track, the normal track down here. It goes to hyperspace. When it goes to hyperspace, just a quick note, if you're not in an escape pod and you're not in the hybertorium hibernating, you will die. So try to get one of those things done before that happens. The other one is going to be the countdown timer for explosion. Once that happens, if anything's on the ship, it'll die. So another important thing, if your objectives say something has to be destroyed or whatnot, if the ship explodes, they're destroyed. So that at least portion of the objective would be met. You still need to survive too. You'll notice in both of these countdown tracks that are on the bottom, in the middle there's going to be these little symbols. So in the explosion one, off to the left, when that one hits, when it goes from 4 to 3, all the escape pods become unlocked. Now, there's 2 seats in each escape pod, and there's 3 escape pods for 4 players. So technically, there's enough room for everyone, but if 3 people just decided they wanted to jump in an escape pod and fire it off, one person might get left behind.
Not that any of us would do that.
Not that any of us would do that. So the hibernatorium, you cannot go into hibernation at all until it gets to the time track between 9 and 8. Once that happens, you're able to hibernate. One brief thing that you have to keep in mind is when you are trying to hibernate, I can explain that rule in a little bit, but basically you're going to have to make a noise roll. And if you can successfully complete a noise roll, you will be able to hibernate. You will just put your character back on your player sheet and you have hibernated. At the end of the game, another thing to keep in mind is you will have to check all of the contamination cards that you have. If you have an infected card anywhere in your deck at the end of the game, you will then shuffle up all your cards and draw 4 cards. If any of the 4 cards that you drew are a contaminated card, whether it's infected or not, you die. So keep that in mind. It's a really good thing to try to mitigate and keep control of throughout the game. The 2 easiest ways to get contamination cards is messing with the, what are they called? The little face huggers that aren't called face huggers. Those guys.
Going into melee with any of the intruders / aliens it's going to be bad times for contamination. Yes.
Well, not even... if you run into, what are they called? It's not the
larva.
The larva. If you run into a larva and they attack, they don't do any damage to you. The larva goes onto your board and you get a contamination counter. And Dan is right. The other way that you get it is go into melee combat. Melee combat, you want to try to avoid at any cost. Melee combat is far worse than just getting contamination cards. You are more likely to get serious wounds. If you miss at all in melee combat, you will immediately get a serious wound. Once you have your 3 serious wounds, whether they're dressed or not, any wound of any type will immediately kill you. The other way you can immediately die is if you have a larva on your board and you're trying to get rid of infected cards and one of them scans as infected, you need to put a larva on your board. And if there's already a larva on your board, you immediately die. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Another thing you want to mitigate is those larvae. Other ways you can die in the game is getting killed by an intruder. We just went over with your 3 serious wounds. Any other wound will kill you. The other way is if you're on the ship, when it explodes, it will explode through either the countdown timer or if 2 of the 3 engines, which are here, are damaged.
It jumps to hyperspace.
Well, if you're alive at that point. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll be in the escape pods, but if you're on the ship, when it gets to jumping the hyperspace, you will die if 2 of the 3 are damaged at the end. Also, up top here, where you see it has it on B in the navigation room, it's related to this card that's upside down that you're not allowed to look at. You can interact with the room to look at the coordinates for the different planets that are available on it, or you can interact with the room to move this marker to either A, B, C, or D. If the ship goes anywhere other than Earth when it launches and you're on it, whether you're in a hybertorium or on the ship in any other means, you will die. There is a card, though, that lets it go to Mars, and that single person will survive and win if they're not infected. You can also go in an escape pod. If you go in an escape pod, you will immediately be assumed that you make it to Earth, and you just have to do an infection check. But again, escape pods will only trigger in 2 different ways. One is you're going to blow up the ship and it goes from 4 to 3, or someone dies. When someone dies, the ship immediately opens emergency procedures and the escape pods will be available. One other last thing to keep in mind is we're going to go into actions, is everything in general costs points, and the points are your cards that you have to discard. And one thing to keep in mind throughout the game is the number of cards that you have in your hand is very important because it's done for multiple different checks. Like if an intruder is going to attack you, when it goes in the intruder phase, it attacks the person with the least amount of cards. If you go into a room and there's an intruder there, or an intruder goes into the room, you're going to flip one of the intruder cards over if it's on the player's turn. And there's a number in the upper left-hand corner of the intruder card. If that number is higher than the number of cards you have in your hand, it does a surprise attack. And it will attack you before you get to do anything. A couple other things to keep in mind, and we'll go over those. Actually, we'll go over those when we go over your different actions you can do. So if you look at the sheet over here, there's a couple different things you can do on your turn. You can... Oops. My sheet just dropped off. Okay. So during the event phase, you're going to take a couple different types of actions. You have basic actions, you have your card actions, you have room actions, and you have item actions. Your basic actions are going to cost a card to you're going to have to discard a card from your hand to do it. There should be a better sheet somewhere here. Where's the better sheet for the actual actions? Should be a better one.
I'm sorry. The basic actions are on your player board.
Oh,
Move,
yeah, there we
shoot,
go.
Melee, pick up heavy object, trade, craft.
So
careful movement, and then specific items will have actions on them, and then specific cards will have actions on them.
So the 2 different types of movements you have.
And if you need to know what a specific room does, they're summarized up here.
Yeah, on the top left one. And not all rooms will be on this board. There's more rooms than there's spaces, so some rooms won't show up. But anyway, your basic actions cost 1 card that you'll have to discard to perform. You have movement, and like you said, shoot, and you have pick up heavy object, you have trade, and you have craft items. Craft items are shown on your left or right there. When you have item cards in your hand, they'll have symbols on them. and you're basically matching up those symbols to get that item, which are located over here. Every room that you go into, for the most part, is going to have an amount of items available. When you search a room for items, you're going to take the color of the room and you're going to draw those cards from that deck. You'll draw 2 and pick 1. If it's a white room, you can draw 2 from any of the 3 decks, but they have to be from the same deck. So you could pick green, red, or yellow, but you have to pick 2 cards from it. You're going to pick one and then discard the other. So trade, if you're in the same room, you can just trade whatever the heck you want, but not ammo. If you trade the whole gun, the ammo goes with it. You have a amount of ammo available on each of the guns. Once that runs out, you'll have to figure out through your cards different ways of reloading. Careful movement and regular movement. We're going to go over that real quick. So when you move, you're going to move your character to a room. When you move your character to a room, you're going to flip over the room and flip over this token. You're going to resolve the token first, and there's a couple different things on them, but most of them are either going to be, it's going to be a locked door is going to show up, nothing's going to happen, which will have the X on it. Some of them will have like an intruder will show up, stuff like that. And the room itself, you'll have to look at the room sheet over there to figure out what the room does. Once you finish and resolve that, you will roll the die. The die has numbers on it. The numbers correspond to the corridors that are around it. Whatever number that you roll, you're going to put that noise token on the corridor. If you roll the danger symbol, if there's which is 3 slashes, you're going to move the nearest intruder to your room if he's not already engaged with someone else. If there's no intruders available, you're going to put a noise token on every single quarter, so they're all full. If you roll for noise and you roll for a quarter that already has a noise token, you're going to discard all the noise tokens around the room, and you're going to pull an intruder from the bag. When you pull the intruder from the bag, you're going to take and resolve the type that's on there. So you have a larva, you have a creeper, you have an adult, and you have breeders, and you have a queen. You'll place that miniature in that boardroom, and then you're considered in combat with that intruder. The instant an intruder goes on the board, players have to pick one of the 2 objective cards that they have and commit to it. That will be their objective. They will discard the other objective, and that's it. Now, your number card, that's actually known. So your number's known. So you can place your number out. So first player's going to be first, and then someone's going to be second, third, and fourth. So when you have your first player, we play in clockwise order, except for some objectives say that you might need to kill player 3 or kill player 2. If that happens, that's the player you play. It's not necessarily turn order, unless it's player 1. So to begin the game, so if that's a regular movement, if you do a careful movement, you discard 2 cards and you can move into the room and you don't roll for the noise die. Another thing about noise die, if you see these little red dots, anywhere you see the little red dots is going to go into the ventilation shaft, and you're going to put a noise token there. If you put a noise token there, you're going to notice that there's a lot of red dots on a lot of rooms. So that's the easiest way for you to get attacked by an intruder, because you're highly likely to put your second noise token there. And again, if there's a room here that gets an intruder in there, and it's connected to this node that goes to the ventilation shaft, that noise token also gets discarded. If the blank token, there's one blank token in the bag, gets drawn when we do that, nothing happens. You put that back in, but then you put another adult intruder in the bag with it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Some of the rooms that I don't know that are explained, if you go to the engine room, you can actually interact with it in the way that you can look at both of them, and whichever one you put on top is the status of that engine. So you'll notice there's 2 in each room. Whatever's the one on top, you can do that. Or you can just peek at it. But either way, that's how you do the engines.
Don't you have to use a tool or something to be able to swap it?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You have tools that you can build to do that, to swap it. And you also, most players have objective cards that they can get their personal gear.
You can repair or break an engine by either using a repair action, which is one of the type of actions that is in your deck, or a tools item card.
Yeah, you have to have a thing for it, but either way, it's not going to be hard. You'll see it when we get there.
FYI, from when we played on this tabletop simulator mod before, me and Ken, right? So if you Alt and then Shift, right, to peek at the card, it will show you what's on the bottom of the deck, right? So the same as when you flip that. I'll just shuffle that after we're done, so we don't know the status of that engine. So that's the shortcut. So rather than looking at the top card and putting it back, just like peek at the card, and you'll see the bottom card, and the bottom card will be the status, because then you'll just flip the whole stack when we need to determine whether or not the engine's operable or not at the end.
Yep.
It's just a little shortcut.
So
you said Alt Shift.
Alt Shift, yeah.
Alt Shift.
Okay.
To peek at a face down object. You could do that for like the navigation card too, because technically that's not revealed information.
And you don't have to tell the truth at any point in this game.
Right.
So you can peek at these and say it's going to Earth. It might not be. Who knows? So just go over the player turn real quick. Last little bit for it. You will draw 5. Everyone will simultaneously draw up 5 cards to start the player round. Then it'll go with who's the first player.
I think it's you.
I am. I got player 1.
All right, so you just put your player 1 card out so people can see it. All right, and then Dan's player 3.
Yeah.
So
right here.
If you have to kill player 3, that's who you got to kill. Anyway,
I don't know why you're encouraging people to kill player 3.
I'm not insinuating anything at all.
Accidental, which is another cool thing about this game. You cannot shoot another player. You cannot harm another player. You can indirectly kill them or indirectly harm them. You'll find out throughout the game multiple different ways that you can put people in danger where they will die. Pull Nemesis or intruders over to them, or close doors while they're in a fire. All sorts of fun stuff. Another quick note, fire. If there's 8 fires on board, we die.
Yes, same with the malfunction tokens. Yep. If we have to put a malfunction token on the board and there's not any left in the supply, the ship will prematurely explode and probably kill us all.
Well, it will kill you all, except for the Xate Pod guy. So, yeah, 8 malfunction tokens, 8 fire tokens. If you're in an area with a fire token, on the player phase, when it starts, you will get a damage, a serious wound. If an intruder is in a room with a fire, they will get a damage. So it's... I
don't think it's a serious wound. I think it's just a wound.
Probably. I can look that up in a second. You can actually take, like if you look at your player board, you can actually take 2 light wounds before you get a serious wound. Once you get a serious wound, it gets placed face up. They do horrible things to you. You cannot immediately get rid of a serious wound. You first have to dress it. Most players
turn it face down.
Turn it face down. And then you can go to different rooms to do that. And then you can or cards in your deck. And then some of them can remove dressed wounds. Once you've had 3 serious wounds, if you get any wound of any type, you will die. Additionally, slime is important. It does absolutely nothing until you roll an X or flip a room with a token with an X. If that happens, you treat it like a danger roll, which will summon an intruder that is adjacent or able to get to you will go straight to you and attack you if he's not engaged with another player. Or you'll put a noise token every quarter around the room. So 5 cards in your hand. You have to take 2 actions on your turn. You have to. If you take any less than 2 actions on your turn, even if it's just 1 action, you pass after that. You cannot take any more actions for that round until after all the intruders get to go. And again, it's very important with the card count that you have in your hand does matter with dealing with intruders. Last little bit, and then I'll let Dan pick up anything I forgot. If you look up at the Intruder Board, the Intruder Board has a couple different things on it. It has larva. You're going to have 5 eggs. If you want to exploit these weaknesses, which downgrade the intruders immensely and make them a little easier to deal with, you're going to have to get the equivalent things to that. So you'll have to have an intruder egg to be able to do that, and you need to do that in the breeding or the
what do you call it? You find these various objects, character corpse, egg, and intruder carcass through playing the game. You got to bring them to a specific room to conduct research, and if you manage to do that, then the card gets flipped over, and the intruders become easier to deal with for everyone.
Yeah, well, every time you kill an intruder, if you do, you'll get an intruder corpse. Every time you go into the nest, you can get an intruder egg. You can also blow up the eggs by dealing damage to them.
There's a character corpse token that starts the game in the Hybernatorium with us. Otherwise,
yes.
Other players that have been eliminated one way, shape, or form.
You just kill player 3.
Yeah, when player 3's dead.
When player 3's dead, we're all good.
When player 4 is dead, right,
right.
We're fine.
So let's go ahead and get this party started. We don't pay attention to the numbers other than who the players are. We'll go in turn order, but Evan will be the first player. So if you want to read off what he'll read off what his character ability is, but also don't forget that you have these sub-objectives on your board. These sub-objectives, if you complete them, give you cool things. So you can get your personal items and stuff. Like you can get a flash torch and a plasma torch.
Okay.
All right, so Evan, what does your guy do?
Let me scroll down here. So I am the mechanic here. I come equipped with a sawed-off shotgun, which should be very useful for killing these non-alien aliens.
Legally distinct aliens.
Absolutely, 100% legally distinct. Okay. Now, where is my
special ability
thing?
I mean, that's it. You're just
that's it. Except for the contents of your deck, and the contents of your deck reflects the fact that you're a mechanic.
Right.
So you're gonna have an extra repair card in your deck, and you're gonna have special cards that are gonna enable you to cut open sealed doors and or open or close doors.
Yeah.
For example.
And you have your 2 quest items. You have your flashlight and your plasma torch that you could get if you do what it says on there. All right. So mine is a little weird. So I get 2 corporate cards, no nice card. And I get a shotgun, an arm gun, energy weapon with 3 shots. I get 1 quest item, and my quest item is a arm tablet. And then my character's ability is you never draw contamination cards. Larvae cannot follow you or infest you. They cannot use green items on yourself except clothes. Your serious wounds can only be dressed with tools or duct tape items. So apparently duct tape fixes everything. So
I mean, even in the future it works.
Even in the future, it's important. So I'm going to probably be going to trying to activate an item in the generator room whenever I get there. All right, so what do you got, scientist Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing the scientist today. I've got this weak little pistol, unfortunately, as my only sidearm. I could try to hunt down the hollow computer or the laboratory equipment if I feel like it's beneficial to me. And I've got some computer skills mixed into my deck. So if a room has a computer in it, I'm going to usually be able to activate that room for like only one action instead of the usual two.
Ooh, good. All right. So Nathan the Captain, which is also the same character he played when we played the TTRPG Alien.
Yes, so I have a nice little 6-shooter, classic weapon,
That'd be fun if it had 5 ammo.
If I roll a double hit, I get to deal an additional injury, so that's cool. Low probability of that happening, but still pretty cool. I can get my quest items of intercom and log key, and I have cards in my deck that basically help me lead, so leadership style things.
Okay, so
Cool.
we're going to start the game. Everyone's going to draw 5 cards, so you draw up 5 cards.
I've already got mine. Yeah.
James, you can just hover up over the deck and hit 5.
Yeah, it's too hard. And Evan will get to go first. Oh, one quick thing. When you're looking at your player cards, some of them have symbol of a gun in the upper right-hand corner. All that simply means is if it has an X on it, the card cannot be used in combat. If it has a picture of the gun, it can be used in combat, only in combat.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't have any picture, just use it whenever the heck you want.
Pretty much.
So, and remember, you will be discarding cards to do actions. So, keep that in mind.
One other thing you didn't talk about was if you go into a room, you can avoid by doing noise. Also, if there's somebody else already in that room or a intruder.
Yeah,
That
if there's already a intruder in the room or another person in the room, you're good.
If you're entering a room with another figure in it, you don't have to make the noise roll.
And you can't
Which
use
is actually pretty important because, like when we were playing 2-player, we would try to follow each other through the ship, more or less. It's
really important because the more noise tokens you get on there, the more likely it's going to happen. And the longer we can go without triggering one of the intruders showing up is probably the better.
And I believe you can't use careful movement if there's already a noise in the corridor you're trying to move through.
I don't remember that from
remember that one. I will look that up while you guys go.
I'm looking through my hand that I just drew here.
Yeah, I got some nice cards. I particularly like this one that I'm not going to tell you what it means. I mean, I could, but that'd be spoiling things.
I get this awesome card that says we win, but I don't think I'm going to play that one.
If there's a noise marker in all the corridors connected to the room you want to move to.
Okay.
All of them.
You can't. Okay, if there's a noise marker connected to all the corridors of the room you want to move to, you can't careful move into it?
That is correct.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
But it doesn't matter if there's a noise token for the corridor you're moving through, just all of them, then no matter what, you're going to be making noise. So don't discard 2 cards. Oh, man. My guy. Sheesh. These cards. Why are... There were some good androids in the Alien universe.
Why do we let him have an expansion thing and take the android?
I don't know. Probably because we know he cheats.
Yeah.
So it's publicly cheating.
It's going to happen with me being bad, so, we might as well just go with it. It just depends.
Yeah, we know you're going to be the betrayer anyways.
Actually, just so you know, a lot of the corporation cards aren't really betrayer cards. But they have a higher percentage of it happening than the regular ones.
Most of the corporate objectives are kind of selfish, though.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some mundane ones in there, but they have to do some, like almost all the corporate ones have to do something with intruders. So
Yeah. Usually they ask you to retrieve like an egg or an alien corpse, or
Kill player 3.
kill.
yeah,
player
kill player
Ah.
4. Definitely player 4, not player 3.
Yeah,
Who's player 3 again? Because whoever is player 3 is not going
James.
to have a good chance, I think.
James is definitely player 3.
With all this talk about killing player 3.
yeah. So, Evan, what would you? Really the only
at
thing
the
you're
very
really
beginning
going
of
to
the
do
game,
is
you
move.
need to. At the very beginning of the game, you will kind of want to explore the ship.
Yeah.
And we kind of, as a group, we kind of want to make our way back to the engines to check on their status, and then up to the control center to see where we're headed, so we can get like what is the situation here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my way down. I'm gonna work my way to engine 3. So I'm just gonna mosey my way down there. So this
Okay.
early in the game, should we start just by moving carefully so we don't start?
So here's the
getting-
problem. When your actions are tied to your cards. Some of them say 0, so you can use those cards. But just remember to not blow through your cards so fast. So we can't do careful movement all the time. My suggestion...
Doing careful movement all the time is a quick way to lose this game. You got to move a little bit quicker than that.
My suggestion is we break up in teams of 2.
If you have a search action in your hand, a really good opening move is to just normal move into a new room and then
Search it.
use your search card to search it, because chances
Okay.
are there's going to be some number of items in the room.
I agree.
Okay.
Oh, also bear in mind, of the 2 objectives, you're only going to get to keep one. We discarded one of them, I believe, when we first have our first alien encounter.
Right. Like
That
I
is
said, yeah.
correct.
As soon as an intruder shows up, you have to commit. So you have to pick one of the 2. That's how it is.
Right.
So I'm gonna move here into this room.
So yeah, move our side. We'll take this over. Go ahead and flip the room.
Yeah, I'll get it
Oh,
there.
okay.
Then we flip the token.
Got a hatch.
So
Okay, so
this
there's
token,
a malfunction token in this room.
Yeah. Also, what you're going to do is there's a little number right here, and you're going to move that to 3. So that means that there's 3 items in this room that you could get. I don't know why that thing's goofy. Yeah. So
There we go.
and every time you search, and yeah, this is going to go down until there's 0 items. So yeah, so you can't use the room's ability, which this one here is the hatch control system. You can lock or unlock one escape pod, which is pretty nice, but not necessary right now. And there's different actions you can do to potentially remove the malfunction token.
Yeah.
But the malfunction token does not prevent you from searching, I believe. So I think you can still search.
And I got to pitch a card for my movement, right?
You do have to pitch a card for your movement.
So I'm gonna throw away that because I'm not gonna try and kill you guys yet.
Whatever card you're discarding goes up. There you go. You're the mechanic, right?
Now, before you take
I put it on a pile.
Yeah. Before you take any other actions, you have to roll the die.
Where's
Right, because you made
There
a
it is.
noise roll. There you go. The D10.
Come on, nothing bad.
1.
So
Okay. Well,
in room quarter 1, you're going to put a noise token.
there
Now,
you go, like that.
now you can do your second action.
All right, and where's my player? There we go. I'm going to use search.
Okay. So search is a 0 cost action, so you don't need to pitch another card in order to do that. And then it just says reduce the item count by 1, so this rotates down to 2. And then this is a white room, so you can pick any 2 cards that are the same color, look at them, and then pick one to put onto your player board over here, and then the other one goes to the discard pile over there.
Correct.
All right, so I'm going to discard that one. Does it go face up or face down?
I think it is. We played it face up when me and Ken played it. I
Okay.
think.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, both of them are going to... This one's going to be face up, too. So,
Oh, so it doesn't matter then.
no. And that's just
Tools. Nice.
cool item that you use on your board. So it goes up there.
Yeah, it's going to go over there.
Right there.
In the video, it talked about that being secret, but that's all right.
The tools?
Items are secret.
Oh. Well,
No.
then there we go.
Large items are open.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Inventory is
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Large
that's right.
items are open.
Also,
Okay.
you can only drop large items. If you drop a small item for any reason, it's just gone.
So
Interesting.
I did not get tools there, everyone.
It's fine. I'm gonna kill you for them because I need them to repair myself. And
I'm not player 3.
but you could get duct tape. That would be even better. All right, so it's my turn.
Sure.
It's not sure. It's definite. Wait, is that clockwise? No, it's not me. It would be Nathan. I'm last.
We're in a line. Go left to right. You're next.
All right. Yay, I'm next. So I am going to discard my recharge because I don't need to recharge my weapon. And I'm just going to move into the room with you. Yay.
Oh no, I'm with the traitor. I mean,
And then I'm going to search. Look at that. Didn't even roll noise or anything. Can someone rotate that for me? Because I'll just mess it up.
Sure.
Look at these 2 items. Ooh. Ooh. We're going to get rid of this thing. All right. I'm done.
Dan, there's one more thing to search in that room. I have something I can help you with. If you do that, I can help everybody.
I mean, I was thinking since they're headed towards the engine, you and me should head towards the bridge.
Yeah,
or
sure.
one of the other engines.
I think we should pair up. I like that. So one person can do the noise and the other person can just benefit.
Like search for items and
Yeah.
whatnot.
So
I don't have I do not have a search card, but I might be able to do something depending on. So yeah, we'll head off in this direction towards engine 1, I guess.
I was just thinking we could split up after. We could actually go there, finish the search, and then we can go to engine 2 while they do 3. But either way.
I mean, I do have stuff to do, that I can do positively in that room. I don't have a search card, but I can fix the malfunction.
Okay, well, I wouldn't worry about it then.
Yeah. All right. So, yep, I'll go here. Command center. There is a door that gets sealed behind me. Excellent. There's the door.
And-
That's not me. And then the item count in this room is 4.
which is pretty darn good.
Ooh, that's nice.
lots
All
of
right.
stuff.
Lots
And-
of stuff. But
Roll-
I'm locked in right now.
So yeah, don't forget to discard your card and then roll that noise die.
Yeah.
Hopefully an alien doesn't come to eat your face.
Or does.
Okay. I'll discard this rest card that seems mostly useless right now since I don't have any infection.
I will say if an intruder came in that's like, you know, the door's locked. It has to break the door.
So
Well, also, there's very little chance of it coming in.
yeah, no, you know what?
Oh, no chance actually.
Oh, you still have to roll the noise die.
Yeah, I do.
That looks like an
Oh,
X.
good.
That looks like an X.
So
That
again,
is an
that
X.
doesn't do anything unless you're slimed.
So that is a no noise. I moved silently. Just a second. I think I have a card for this. Here we go. This room does have a computer, so I'm going to use my blocking access to activate the room's ability to open/close doors. So I'm going to get rid of the I'm just going to open the door using the computer so that I'm not by myself.
Now,
Okay.
one more quick
now-
note. If a door becomes damaged, it can never be opened or closed again. It's always considered open, just so you know.
Yeah. What do you call it? The doors have different states. Here, wait a second. There's a destroyed door.
There you go. All right. So, yeah, that door, he opens the door. You had to discard a card for that, and then you're done, right?
No, because I've only spent 1 action because my using the computer was a 0. So
for
I
your
technically
character?
could- yeah.
Isn't that still considered an action even if it doesn't cost anything?
What?
No. That's
Okay.
the beauty of it. It's what do you call it? You have 2 cost worth of actions. Moving is 1. The card was 0. I have another 1 if I wanted to use it. I don't think I want to use it because I don't want to go too far ahead of the crowd here and like make even more noise. So
wait,
I will just
Yeah.
pass. That's fine.
Using a card to search, though, is that not an action then?
I'm sorry. What does the search card say? Search is 0.
So it wasn't an action?
Yeah.
So then Evan has another action to do?
Well, no. It just says-
No. Using any card, whether it's 0 or not, is still an action.
Right.
So that's your second action.
Where do you see that?
It's on page 13 of the rulebook. Action from action cards. Each character has his own unique 10 cards. Any of the actions on there. Some cards have additional costs to playing the card action, which would be additional cards to discard. But any played card is an action. Page 13.
Okay. I will take a close look at that.
Okay. So my turn? Then. I will move here. I don't make any noise. And then I guess I'll motivate. Well, I got to discard something to move, right? So I'll discard that one. Rest. And then motivate. Myself and Dan each get to draw 1 action card.
Ooh, that's nice.
That's why I was like saying, "Oh, well, we maybe if we all go together." But yeah, it's kind of wasteful. So those are my 2 actions.
All right, Evan.
Okay. So, I think I'm gonna move to here. Actually, no.
You can
Right
search
here,
one
like-
more time if you can. You can get something.
That's. I was like, wait a minute. Before I do that,
I don't know. I don't even remember what I have in my hand. See.
I'm gonna search.
I'm sorry. We should have gone through an event phase there, right? Because each player acted.
Nope. You keep going until everyone passes. And then the event phase goes. After each player has performed 2 actions of step 3 or passes turn, another series of turns takes place. Continue to repeat until all players have passed. And then it goes into the event phase.
So I searched. Then I'm gonna move. Actually, can someone rotate that room?
I can try.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's at 0.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go into this room here.
I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be an event card here.
Event cards happen at the event phase. You resolve it, step 8.
Right.
Event phase doesn't occur until after the player phase ends.
Yeah, each player plays in clockwise order. They take 2 actions, 1 action or a pass, or pass. We each took 2 actions. So the player phase is done at that point.
After that,
I'll repeat step 3 until all players have passed.
Right.
Oh, so we have...
We're going to keep
so
going.
You keep going until you pass because you don't have enough cards in hand, right?
Or you don't want to play any more
Or you
cards.
Or you don't want to push your luck anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
playing more cards is pushing your luck.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
And it's fine at the beginning, but it gets bad. Like, you probably want to have a high card count. All right, so let's
All
go
right,
ahead
I
and
can
flip that.
now say with unequivocally that we played this wrong when we played it, but whatever.
No, it's okay.
You played it
There's
hard mode.
There's a lot of rules. So another malfunction. And this goes, well, no, the marker's over here. So it goes to 1 here. So that should be at 1. And then this token goes away. All right, so another malfunctioning room. This was the storage room. It doesn't do anything good anyway.
Okay.
So.
And I got to roll.
Although we're at 2 out of 6 for the computer, or from the thing exploding. So there's that.
Wait, there's still some room.
There's still some room. We're okay. All right, so you discarded a card.
no.
You have to
That's the claw icon. So
So-
noise comes out and hits all of the corridors adjacent to that room.
Right. Which I can still move to that room without putting a noise on. But yeah.
You can only because he's there.
Right. Okay, so that was 2 actions for you, right? So you're down to what?
Unfortunately, yeah.
2 cards? Or 1 card?
Yep, 2 cards.
Okay. Oh, wait. Are you sure? You should be down to 1 card because you did 4 things.
I'm down to 2 cards.
You had to
I have to
spend
pitch
1
for
for
the
movement.
I forgot I have to. So we're going to pitch that for right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're good.
I mean, you don't have to follow him. There is another corridor there.
I know, but
Don't abandon me.
The only problem is with doing that is
there's going to be a whole lot of noise in that corner of the ship. Yeah.
right when he leaves engine 3, he needs somewhere to go, and he doesn't want to go back to storage. So if he accidentally makes a lot of noise in this new room, then Evan's kind of in trouble unless he goes for engine 2 and back.
Yeah, and I'm not player 3, so.
I wish I could. I don't know what the Android deck has in it. I'm hoping that there's something in here where I can fix like damaged rooms because I'm an Android, right? That's what they do.
That seems like the mechanics role too.
Yeah, I have a lot of computer interface stuff, so maybe I just don't do that stuff. I'm glad I can't get contamination though. That's good. I don't know what I'm going to do per se at all. So I'm going to move to this room, I guess.
Sure.
And put this card that I don't want anyone to read down. And then put a search right over top of it real quick.
Discard this card to cancel any action performed by another player in the room you're in. The other player may still play the card's cost. Okay, so it's a tradery card. Why am I not surprised?
Okay, so I'm good. I picked what I'm going to be. I'm pretty sure this is not a heavy item. Nope.
Okay, you're searching, right? So rotate that down to 0
0.
or 1.
It was
0.
only 1, so now it would be 0.
Okay, all right, so that room's empty.
It was not much of a storage room.
No, but all right. I got some cool stuff to do. I'm gonna flip these and put them down because now I want to look at them. I'll just remember that I have an item total of 8 cards I can have, or 7 cards. All right, Dan, do you want to do anything?
Sure. As long as Nathan drew us an extra card, we might as well keep going, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Spoiler alert, I'm passing on my turn.
Okay. So I will pitch a card to move into the next room. This one. Evacuation Section B. Try to enter an escape pod. Oh my gosh, more items. And there is a malfunction in that room as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think my second action will probably be repairs then. I will
Did
pitch
you roll? Did you roll?
Did not roll. That was not a roll. That was a roll. 1 is this quarter. Could be worse.
Yep.
All right. And now I already pitched the card for repairs. I'm going to remove the malfunction token so that we don't randomly explode.
Okay. So, I'm gonna search. Well, this room, command room. What kind of items? I'd get ammo items.
Yeah, the red room is just the weapon pile, whereas this white room can be any pile of your choice.
That might be better. Because I think I need tools. Yeah, I will.
I don't know why you would need tools.
For my quest objective. Discard tools or duct tape to activate this item, the intercom.
You better not discard duct tape.
So I will move into there, and I will do a search action.
Okay.
I'll discard. In order to move, I will discard demolition. And I will get 2 tool items and decide which ones I want to keep, which one I discard. Ooh, okay. Unfortunately, it's a cool sounding one. Over there.
Chemicals. Okay.
And I will that there. I like the other one better.
Fine.
Okay, that would be my 2 actions.
Evan, you can do one. If you wanted.
I could do one.
I would not recommend not moving with it.
Yeah, I would probably say don't move it. Although, yeah, probably not a good idea to move with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Okay. James, are you also on plan pass?
Yes, I'm also on plan pass, so it's just the 2 of you. It's just the 2 of you.
We didn't get a leader to motivate us.
Yeah, we didn't get no motivation.
Well, I'm also on 1 card, so I think I'm also on plan pass. I don't think what can I do with this card? Okay, this card has an additional cost to it, so I don't think I can even play it. Nope. All right.
Wait, did Nathan do 2 actions on his turn?
Yes.
Yeah, he moved and then searched.
So should you be down to 1 card too, or no?
No, because I drew an extra card.
I played a card. We both drew an extra card, but I played a card that has an additional cost.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
I have 2 left. Should I move?
That's on you.
Yeah.
If you actually trigger an encounter, you're almost guaranteed to have a sneak attack on you with 1 card left in hand.
I mean, if you have any possibility of searching, I would probably just say do that, but you know.
I do not. I could move Dan.
You can move me. Interesting.
Yes. You could throw him into the engine room and see what happens.
I'm thinking about that, but it does say you have to agree. Do you want to move into the engine room, Dan?
What's the worst that could happen?
Is this going to cause a noise? Is this going to cause a noise roll?
I'm pretty sure it would.
I don't know. It says do not trigger an alien intruder attack.
Oh,
I can only use that in combat. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
okay.
That makes more sense.
That makes sense.
The other one doesn't make any sense. Like, why aren't you going?
We the problem with these engine rooms, right, is that it takes 2 actions to check the status of the engine. So, like, if we spend 1 action to move into the engine room, we have to blow the rest of our hand in order to check the engine, more or less.
Yeah, I have really no interest in going to the engine room, but if you do, I can go in and.
I mean, I don't want. I mean, I'm not moving, and we determined that your card can't move me unless we're in combat, which hasn't happened yet. So I don't think that's happening. No.
Okay, tell you what, I can still do careful movement.
You could.
You can. Yes, you can. By discarding the remaining 2 cards in your hand, you can careful movement into one of the 2 engine rooms.
Before you just commit, I will say that even if there's not intruder, we're still going to resolve an event card,
Right.
which is probably fine. I don't know what is in the event cards, but
I've seen a small handful of them, and I don't think cards in hand really matter. Most of the time, they're going to cause fires or malfunctions or noise rolls.
yeah, the
Have
only
fun times.
cards in hand matter for intruders.
Yep.
So if the event causes you specifically to make a noise roll, you have a 1 in 4 or 2 in 5, I guess it would be, chance of something bad happening to you in the engine room.
Yeah, so I'll do a careful movement. That's not me.
That is you, yeah. I'm the guy in the wheelchair.
James, we've been moving the wrong person the entire time.
Yeah, that's me.
Which
Here
one's
you go.
me?
I think this is supposed to be you.
Okay, so I'll careful move there. I don't really have anything to do there, but at least that allows you to move there quietly on the next round.
Yeah, because they're still on planned pass. I could pitch my last card to move into that same room. Huh.
But you already
Can
passed, so you can't.
But you already passed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Once you're past, you're out.
You're out. Yeah.
Okay.
But
All
the
right.
event phase will go super quick. So the event phase, we're just going to move the time track up 1. So that happens. So we're going to move that up 1.
Tick.
Intruder attack. There are no intruders. Fire
Right.
damage. There's no fire damage. Go
Right.
ahead and resolve an event card.
All right. I'm going to reveal this event. Okay. The top of the card indicates if there were aliens on the board that they would randomly move.
Yep.
Right. And then the actual event is the text at the bottom. It looks like this is going to be a blank for us because there are no adults on the table.
Yeah, nothing's happening with that card.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so now everyone will draw up. Well, I think at the end of the trigger movement, event effect, intruder.
I'm sorry.
You have to do the intruder bag development.
Okay. Yep. So we have to shuffle this and pull out a token. It's a larva. Remove the token from the intruder bag and add 1 adult instead.
Correct.
So
And this is
there's
just
the adult.
making the bag more dangerous.
Shuffle. Okay.
One
All
thing
right.
I can't remember is I was saying if you were allowed to discard before you draw up.
I don't remember.
No, it doesn't look like. Well, you have to be at some point because when you get infected, you can't use those cards for anything.
You can discard them to pay costs.
No, you can't. They're
Yeah,
dead weight. You can't use them for anything.
Yeah, it did say that in the video. You can't use them for...
Nothing.
You can't spend them.
They're very bad. But they
Okay.
do get discarded out of your hand at some point. I think.
Then if you can't
here we
pitch
go.
them for costs, then
At the
yeah.
end of your turn, you can decide if you want to discard any number of cards from your hand. At the end of the player turn. So I did not. So I have to draw 4 cards.
Yeah. Do I want to hold on to this card or do I toss it?
You would do that. You could do that now, but you would normally do that before the event phase.
Okay. Now I'm going to hold on to it since I held on to it.
I would want to pitch mine.
Okay.
Oh, I have to have a card to use a room action. Ugh. Awesome. All right.
Oh, okay.
So, Evan,
So it would drop to 5, right?
you dropped to 5. Yep. And to
Oh, you
Dan,
don't...
Dan- missing rules is super easy on this game because I don't like the rule book. I think the rule book needs a little better layout. And some things that are important on there are like 3 words. and it should be a little bit more bolded, like the fact that you continue player turns and stuff like that. But yeah.
Fair.
All right, Evan. What do we do? Are we committing to this dumb engine room check stuff?
Yeah. Let me look at my cards real quick.
Not that it's horribly dumb. It just I don't want to die. So you first.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
So Dan, I can take care of the engine room. By the way.
Is this room any use? This storage room is dumb, isn't it?
Yeah, it's empty now.
Dumb.
So
I can repair a malfunction token. I just don't think it's worth it yet. I just learned that I could do that.
okay. So, how many malfunctions do we have out?
Two.
Just
Three? Two. Oh, we're
Dan
fine.
took care of the other one. It was Dan, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
yes.
I got rid of one up here in the evacuation section B.
Well, I don't think
All
this
right.
gives away too much, but apparently my Android is extremely good at opening and closing doors. Like most of my cars are opening and closing doors. So,
So, we're heading to 3, right?
I don't care. It's up to you. I
Yeah,
mean,
let's
it's
head to
one and a
3.
half to doesn't have another. Maybe Dan could do 2. Do you want me to start looping back? Because I could go. If you move to 3, I can move to 3 and then move up to the next one.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, and you can do your
Okay.
NG room stuff.
So, I'm going to move to 3. I'm going to pitch this to move. And then what was it to peek at the engine room?
I'm
Was
sorry, it costs it's an action and it costs 2 cards in hand to peek.
And then it'll cost you another 2 cards and
It's
to,
right
to
here
set it, right?
to check the engine. And yeah, it's another 2 cards if you need to repair or break the engine.
So you can peek and see if you're okay. The top card is what the thing is, not the bottom. The top one is what the status.
If you shift, what was it? Shift Alt.
Yeah, is peek.
Yeah, if you shift Alt it, that's the current status of the thing.
Yeah, and then so you'll have to chuck 2 cards to do it, and that's actually technically your second action, just to peek.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to peek here. Pitch 2 cards. So Alt Shift will peek the bottom, right?
That is the
Okay.
current status of that engine. Yes, whatever you just saw.
Okay, so whatever I saw was the current status.
Yep. You don't have to tell anyone. You can tell people, and whatever you tell people doesn't have to be true.
Okay.
Well, as a member of the team that's not in that section of the ship, what's the status of the engine? Engineer. What's the status of the engine? Hey, mechanic, what's the status of our engines?
I like it, engineer.
I will say number 3 is looking okie dokie.
Ooh,
Okay.
Good. So you don't have to pick
And
more cards.
And we only have to have 2 working engines, but that's assuming
only-
we trust the people who checked them.
That's up
That
to
is
you.
correct.
Hey,
That is correct.
In all the alien-based games we have played, have I led you astray?
Maybe.
No. Well, it was Dan and James that were the issues.
Yeah, not me. Therefore,
So you're the
you
only
should
one I
trust me.
trust from history.
All right. While you guys are debating of how awesome I am, I'm going to do a movement in here. Since you're in here, it's all good. And I'm going to do a movement here, which won't be all good.
Oh wait, I have a question.
Yeah, go
So
for
when
it.
when I moved to the engine room, did I have to roll a noise?
Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't. If you didn't do that, you got to do that real quick.
I did not.
Yeah. If
That is an X. That is silence. So no additional noise tokens.
I
are
was
distributed.
going to say I'm
Great.
very good at opening and closing doors, and I would have totally closed the door on you if you did that.
If you had caused an encounter this early.
Guys, I don't trust the android.
I just
Why are you paired up with him?
I drew the
Over
short lot.
here.
beep boop bop beep. Okay, I'm going to keep going. That was probably insulting.
Yeah,
Well,
what are
very
you doing?
vulgar.
Making robot sounds. The generator.
The generator?
initiate or stop the self-destruct sequence.
The
Great.
generator? Oh, if I
Oh, and the door's
interact
locked.
with that, I get a thing. Right?
Okay,
Let's
so and then there's a door that locks behind you there.
see. Wait,
Well, that
activate this item in the generator room. So I just, oh wow, I'm gonna have fun in the generator room. What was the token while I was blathering?
I'm sorry, the search value's 2,
Yeah, but
And
what was the thing?
and it
Oh, lock the door. Okay.
Spawned a closed door behind you.
Well, I still have to pick which one I'm going to. I'm gonna just discard demolish.
did you have to roll noise?
He does.
I do.
2. Gonna be this one.
Okay. All right, thank you. So this room here is not completely dangerous yet, because you still have the ventilation shaft. So don't forget about that. It's not. There's not a noise token in every quarter. For that.
Right.
Okay.
It's still pretty dangerous, though.
Still pretty dangerous. Yeah.
It's still pretty dangerous, but it's not like you're gonna have a problem immediately. All right, so that'd be Dan then.
Okay.
I mean, I can take care of the
Yeah.
engine.
Yeah. I think I'll let you take the engine. We're gonna do the same thing that they're doing. I'll move past you and see what's in room 13.
Unless you have searches, you can search in the room you're in.
Oh, that's right. I could. Yeah, I'm willing to search in the room I'm in. Sure. Here's a search. That goes down to 2. And let's see, what do I want? I think I'll just go with tools. I'll take a look at some tools.
Okay. Remember, heavy items, you'll have to show them.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh, heavy. Okay, so I think this is a heavy item.
if you have a
I
heavy
think
item,
that symbol meant heavy item.
Yeah. If you have a heavy item, it has to go down here. You can only have 2 heavy items.
yeah. So everyone knows that you have a fire extinguisher.
Which is useful. Not yet, but it will be, probably.
Do I want to search again? I've got another search. I could just search again. That seems great, right?
Stuff is good. Just make sure to dial it down each time you do it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sure. It's at 2, so we'll set it to 1. There's my other search.
Also, don't
And-
forget, you can craft with your stuff too.
Yeah. Maybe I go for medical items this time. I mean,
If I have to raise your corpse, I can't use green cards.
Okay. I'm going to get rid of this synthetic food. I don't want synthetic food.
Yeah, you do. It's delicious.
Draw 2 cards, though. That's weird, though. You have to spend a card to draw 2 cards?
You spend an action. Oh, and a card.
Yeah.
You discard a card to draw 2.
Yeah, I guess that's not bad, but...
Okay, those are my 2 for now. Still got 3 cards in hand, so...
Okay, so me. I am gonna... I don't even have to peek. I'm just gonna go and try to repair it. So I'll find out by doing that.
No. So if you break the engine,
You get to choose which one you set it at.
take both engine tokens. Oh, and then place them back in the order of your choice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You are actively either fixing or sabotaging.
Yes. So I'm getting rid of that, obviously, to do that. Whoops. And then I have to get rid of 2 cards, so I'll get rid of rest
I could have saved a card that way then.
and interrupt. Same number of cards, but So I look.
I would just put them both in your... Yeah, go ahead.
And the one underneath is going to be the one that matters?
The one on the bottom of the stack should be the status of the engine. You can go ahead and Alt-Shift it just to make sure that is correct.
Yep. We are good in this engine.
Okay, so he says... So he says...
Well, it's not James, so it's okay.
Oh. I am tempted to move back into the room Dan is in, because I only got 2 cards left. And I have a search, so next turn I can search.
You have a second action that you can perform this turn, and I would suggest doing something with it. Otherwise, you pass and you're done for the round. And just checking the engine for the whole round seems kind of meh.
Yeah. I think that's what I'll do. I'll do a move into Dan's room, and I'll do the last search in there.
Okay.
It's not the most efficient. Well, next round I have to do the next search. Sorry. So don't change it yet.
Okay. Right. Gotcha. Actually, this is actually okay for us because we can still map out the ship and head towards the front via this pathway if we wanted to.
Right.
Because there's no noise tokens next to this one.
Man.
Right, and we still got lots of search options in the next room.
You guys are so lucky. Your half of the ship has 1 noise token.
Yeah, that's very true.
Good.
I'm sorry. Where's the traitor? Oh, that's right. It's James.
Hey. Hey,
Where'd you guys stick me with James?
You're so mean.
It's back to you, Evan. Whatever you want to do. There's a giant door between you and James right now.
Yes, there is.
Oh, I should have been paying attention to my item cards. I could have activated one of them. That's what I get.
I like how bipolar the possible goals are, objectives. At least mine are.
Ooh, I found a typo on one of my cards.
Well, these aren't direct assets from the game, I don't think. They weren't all direct scanned in.
It says...
This was the playtest version, I believe, that they ported into Tabletop Simulator.
It says room with 3 O's.
Yeah, during the Kickstarter.
Yeah, during the Kickstarter.
Room is what it was.
Room.
All right.
There's a ghost in there.
So what you doing, Evan?
All right, so how can I can't get through the door, though. That's the problem.
I could open it.
Yeah, but if I passed...
Then he's done.
Yeah.
I would...
If you
that one is super dangerous because you can't do anything.
There's no way you can enter that room without causing an encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go... Oh, actually, no, I know what I can do.
I'm sorry. Do you have the card that allows you to travel via the technical corridor still in your hand? Or did you pitch that
it's
one?
gone. It's gone. All right, I can use this item, though.
Yes, that is an action.
Tools.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
That lets me...
That allows you to open the door.
Yeah, you'll still have to discard a card. Yep, you got it. And then that card's gone.
Yeah, because it's one use only.
That'll get rid of the door.
Yeah, just discard it.
And then I can go here to make... I fell over. I can make sure James is not activating the self-destruct.
I mean, he still can. You're just a witness.
Yeah. So you have to discard a card for that movement.
So that turns me into an accomplice, was what you're saying.
Oh, definitely.
You know, I'm really tempted to activate the self-destruct just because.
I mean, if you activate the self-destruct, we basically have 7 turns to complete objectives and get off the ship at that point because you can't stay on the ship if the self-destruct is active.
Yeah, it's true. I'm deciding which card I'm pitching.
I mean, me and Dan are already in an evacuation room.
So how can I move my entire discard back to my...
I'm sorry, just pull it off your board, flip it over, and shuffle.
Yeah.
It's like a deck building game. You click and hold.
Click and hold.
To grab the hold stack.
Okay.
Surgery room. That seems
And
helpful.
then, F to flip it. And then R to shuffle it.
No.
Oh no! Did you accidentally?
No. That means automatically, I think an intruder is going to happen.
What do you call it? All there's noise in each corridor of that room because there's no active intruders.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure which way I have to do it. Do I roll for noise first, or do I do that?
I think
Solve
if you do
effect,
that, you,
This
then
token
noise
happens. This token happens first, then the noise roll.
Yeah, so it's automatically. No, it's not automatically intruder. I can actually get a. I could potentially get a.
You could get an X,
X, yeah.
in which case things don't blow up in your face. No.
well, check that. I think in the video I watched, they said you don't roll if you got that token.
Let me see what it says about exploring.
If there's
noise here.
do not perform a noise roll for this movement.
There you go.
All right, so I'm good. What was the number on the token for items?
I said it. It
It's
was
2.
2. Yeah, it was 2.
Ooh, baby, that was super scary.
So we're gonna have to stick together for the rest of the way here.
I'm gonna probably keep moving.
Oh, leave me behind.
You don't search. Oh, you didn't. No use for you to search there.
I could initiate self-destruct.
You left that room already.
Yeah, but I'm a robot.
You didn't do your quest item, did you?
No, I didn't.
I'm sorry. Was one of his quest items in the generator?
Yep.
I don't.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. I wasn't paying attention. I was in the storage room. That's where my quest item was, and now that's a bad place to go.
Yeah, my quest item. You're allowed to peek at it. You're allowed to know what it is.
Yeah, the other side is actually like the item with the abilities on it.
And I looked at what mine is, and I don't want it right now. So,
Well,
I don't
there's
know,
only
Evan.
one of those rooms I assume, so you might not ever get it if you.
Evan, teammate, Evan,
That's too late.
Yeah.
you got a choice. I can pass, and then I'm done, and then you can catch up. And do you have a search item? Can you search?
I can't.
Okay.
I have no cards left, so
Oh, you're passing anyway.
I have to pass.
Would you prefer me just to pass so you can catch up with me? That's probably the best. I pass. Yeah.
Okay.
We made more noise than them like 4 times over, so we need to like dial down the noise.
Well, that's because we're more productive than that.
I know. they're
Right, but you're
losers.
gonna have the same problem next turn. James is gonna have to pass.
No.
Oh no, Evan's before James. That's right.
Yeah, I go first.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
But I passed. Evan has to pass because he can't do actions. Unless your item is a 0. And now it's Dan.
Cool. All right. I guess I'm just pitching a card to start moving back the other way. We're going this way, right?
Yeah.
I might as well make a
Why didn't you guys
noise.
go up the new rooms when you went to the engine room? Oh, well.
He decided to come back because of the number of cards in his hand, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And there was
They're
lots
not
of
as efficient
items
as we are.
All right. So
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm gonna trust that Nathan actually fixed the engine. I guess. Right.
I don't care. I'm blowing up the ship. I mean, what?
I mean, nobody looked at engine 2, so even if he purposely broke engine 1, there's a chance that engine 2 is functional and will still jump out of here. Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's not too many that require the destruction of the ship, but I don't know.
I can tell you it was broken and I fixed it.
Okay. Well, you could be lying, but I'll trust you for now. For now. This gets rolled. Number 4 would be this direction. Okay.
And there's still an item in that room. Are you going to do a search and then let Nathan?
I do not have a search. I am, however, going to use an item ability. Or rather, I'm going to use this. So I have to pitch a card from my hand to do this quest action and then pitch these chemicals, and I now have laboratory equipment. which is pretty spiffy looking to me.
It's still
Man,
one-time
we're, like-
use, but that's really cool.
Yeah, what do you call it? If I am in a room with a character corpse, intruder carcass, or egg, I can discover the corresponding weakness of the intruder species.
And you're right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that is super helpful. That is amazing, Dan. You are the star of this so far. So far.
So we got to get an intruder over by Dan.
No, don't do that.
Got a character corpse there already.
He just needs to make it to the character corpse.
Nathan, you're up.
Okay. I got one card left. I am just going to search.
Oh, yeah, we should get an intruder to him. You could do... Oh,
Well,
no.
Or get him to a dead
That'll
intruder.
rotate that room to 0.
So I'm taking 2 more items.
Yep, your choice.
Oh, well, sort of. Yeah. This is taking that item, and this one gets discarded.
And just remember, heavy items have to be shown. And you can only have 2 heavy items, so you'd have to discard one of the cards. Or no, you only have 1 heavy item.
Yeah. Well,
No,
no,
you have 2. You have
just
2.
I have 2 already.
That's-
Your default weapon is always considered a heavy item, even if it's a pistol.
Okay,
is
so
awkward.
yeah. Well, it's a big pistol. All right, so that was 1 action, right, Nathan?
Yeah, but I have no cards left, so
You pass.
I guess I have to pass.
Well, there's 0 items too, action or 0 costing. But anyway, are you passing, Evan, or do you got something?
No, I'm passing.
All right, so it's back to you, Dan.
Okay, yeah, I've only got 1 card in hand. I'm fine passing at this point.
All right.
Because, even if I spent it to move into this room, I'd still have to roll noise for it, and I don't like those odds.
And this is the point where you can pick to discard cards.
I think I'll actually hold on to this one. Yeah, that's fine.
Once again, I have 0 cards left, so I don't have to.
Okay, so
I'm going to go ahead and discard mine for one of my cards. Everyone done discarding? If they're going to?
This is where we go to the event phase,
This
right?
is where we go for the event phase. So basically, we're going to move the turn tracker. It's very important.
Okay, we're down to 13.
We're going to resolve an event.
Okay. Bad things happen. There's no guys to move. Each character with a larva on their character board dies.
wow.
Place a creeper in their room. Every character draws 4 cards from their deck and scans all drawn contamination cards. If you have at least 1 infected card, put a larva on their character board. Discard drawn cards. Okay.
No one has an infected card, so we don't have to worry about it.
I mean,
Good time to get that.
the event makes us draw 4 cards.
That you had to discard.
So we just pitch the
No,
top
just
4 over.
and then discard the 4 drawn cards. Yes.
So yeah, we just don't do it.
No, because it matters. Because now I'm not going to see those 4 cards in my next draw step.
Sure, I just tossed mine on there.
Well, that means I get to shuffle on my draw step, but that's okay.
I shuffled right before that happened.
Okay, so that's resolved. Now we have to progress the bag.
There's no intruder attack. There's no fire damage. We already did the event. Bag development. Make sure that this is shuffled before we pull something out of it. The bag event is adult. All players roll for noise in order.
That'd be
Player's
Evan.
characters in combat with an intruder. This player does not perform a noise roll. Return the adult intruder token to the bag. All right.
sad.
Well,
I'm
Go
sad
ahead,
now.
Evan.
I'm so sad.
3.
3 is this quarter, so that's going to trigger an encounter.
Which will discard that token.
Yes.
All
Both
connected
those.
tokens.
I'll put them. Yeah, you can put them away.
I got 'em.
So then you're going to get an adult.
Well, he's going to draw from the bag, and he's going to get whatever's coming out of the bag.
All right, so pull from
Pull a
the bag.
token out of the bag. Yep. All right. Flip it over. Yep. There you go. So the number on the token is how many cards you need to have in your hand, or else you are surprised.
Yeah, I have none.
Technically, I don't think you get
Right.
surprised on an event phase.
Oh no, this thing is attacking right now. I'm pretty sure.
I'll check that real quick because we already passed Intruder Attack. Let me see real quick about those. But anyway, you got whatever the heck that is. Put it on there.
It's an adult token. That was what was pulled out of the bag.
Yeah, so put an adult there.
It's gonna eat my face.
This also, because we have the first encounter with a
Yeah, you got to pick one of your
xenomorph, we also have to pick objectives at this point in time.
Oh, I don't want to choose yet. Do I go for the easy one or the fun one?
Okay.
Fortunately, the backs of these cards are identical, so you don't know what other people have chosen their greedy corporate objectives, right?
Oh.
Yep, you're right. It'll happen. He does get attacked.
Yeah.
So you will put the adult thing in your room,
Yep, it's there.
and then you flip over an Intruder Attack card, and it may or may not do something.
Okay.
So-
It does have the adult symbol on it,
So then
so it
will do a
performs this
scratch.
attack, scratch. You suffer a light wound, which is just a red cube gets put on this track there, right?
All right. Where's the red cubes?
And but you also gain a contamination card. I'm not
Yay.
sure where
It goes
that
in your discard
goes.
pile.
Okay, all right,
Red cubes are right there.
Where are they?
right here.
Oh. That goes.
It goes
right
on
up
your
here.
first light wound.
I'm having trouble
Excellent.
picking my thing. Dan, you want to pick one or two?
You don't. You have to. I have to roll now first.
Well, I'm talking about picking my objective since we had a.
Oh, I already picked my objective. I just. Oh gosh, darn it.
I
Well,
have picked my objective.
I'm
as well.
It's a
Good.
hard choice, but I think I'm gonna have to do that one. Where do I put the non up here? I guess.
I put the one that I'm not viewing up there.
Next person
we think-
roll.
I'm sorry, is that me?
Yep.
I might actually trigger another encounter as well. Two.
I discarded the objective. I'm not doing.
Two is not okay. Two makes it more dangerous for Nathan. Sorry.
Thanks.
So then it's you, Nathan.
Okay.
Evan, did you pick your one objective and discard the other?
3.
Yep.
Three is that corridor. So we actually we don't make any xenomorphs up here. Cool.
Man, you guys suck.
We're the opposite of sucking. We are just great.
That's it. I'm activating self-destruct.
No,
I think
no.
I think we need to kill this guy and figure out where the heck the laboratory is and get him weaker. Or maybe actually Dan doesn't go before us, but we might not be able to kill that thing fast enough. So if Dan finds the character corpse, he'll help us out in downgrading that monster.
That
Go get-
is, what do you call it?
Go get Pete.
Doing the research is still part of the plan.
No, I mean that research will also help me. It help us with this stupid adult thing here. All right. So now you're gonna draw. That's it. Everything's done. We're gonna draw up your 4 cards,
Okay. Yeah. Now everything's
or up
done
your
and
5 cards. Sorry.
We can draw up. Okay. All right. I'm drawing up.
I like how I'm recording my thing so everyone can see I completely fail at Tabletop Simulator current all the time.
You can always show mine. Mine looks all right.
No, this one's funnier. So Evan, we're gonna do combat, probably.
I got.
All right, so you do have the option to run away like a coward. If you run away like a coward, the monster will attack you once.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it.
Okay, that's what I would do.
I mean,
You're gonna spend an action to shoot your weapon.
yeah, I have a sawed-off shotgun for a reason.
Yep.
So spend that. I'm gonna
Decrease the ammo count on it.
and where's that red die? Over here.
Right there.
Blam.
I believe that is one hit because it's an adult, right?
It's only larva or creeper. So the adult has to
Oh, that's
be.
it. Oh, okay.
So
that is not a hit.
it's a complete miss. You will deal 1. All right, if not, you miss, which is nothing bad because it wasn't. It wasn't a melee, so you're okay.
Yeah, there's no bad stuff that happened, but it takes no damage, right?
Yep, you did
Well,
have
then
to discard a card to shoot.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
did.
Okay.
shoot again.
Yeah, you discard one more card and shoot again.
Come on, red die, be kind. Oh, come on.
Also
Okay.
nothing.
All right.
Well, that was fun.
Evan, do you have a grave-like head?
Didn't we play this game already?
So I'm probably gonna. What does my weapon do?
Save me, James. You're my only hope.
It's gonna be normal damage.
How much damage can these aliens take?
So that's just it. We don't know. After you successfully deal damage to an alien, you reveal a card off the top of this alien attack deck, and if the damage that is taken exceeds the number in the blood splatter, then it dies. Otherwise, it's still there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And you check every time it takes damage.
Does it have to exceed or be the same?
Equal or more, I think.
Yeah, I think it's equal or more. Either way, who knows?
Things are tough.
Should I be a hero? Is the question. Or
Yes.
be
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
you should.
know.
or be a coward.
No.
Which? Okay, fine. You better keep attacking this thing. So I roll no noise because you guys are making a heck of a ruckus anyway.
Right. That's one action to move in.
Yeah, I have to discard a card. I was just picking that one. And I'm going to have to discard another card to fire.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead
Kill
and
it.
discard that one. And then we're going to go ahead and try rolling better than Evan.
You can't roll worse.
Oh, no, I totally can. So
Okay,
I
it takes
do
a
get
hit.
a hit. So no matter what, he has one hit. Then we flip over this top card, which he could flee, which is fine with me.
Okay. Yep. Do it.
All right. Oh, wait. Someone else did. Oh, no. Okay.
There it is.
He has 4 health. He's alive.
He's still alive.
You don't pay attention to anything on the bottom.
Nope.
If there was a red arrow, he runs away.
Right.
You know, the problem though with James going back is now when they do have to leave, there's not really.
Evan
There's
said
not
he
too many-
needed help.
There's
I
not
am
too many
helping.
places they can run away to that's not going to cause another alien to show up.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever. We're okay. It was a bad idea. I needed help.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, they can
Okay.
always do careful movement into like the one above them.
That's true, and we can tote around this corpse and try to find the laboratory and get a second thing fixed, and these guys will be even easier to kill.
Or just
Alright,
bring
anyway.
it to.
That's
Dan.
totally the end of my turn. So it's
Oh,
Dan.
that's
Okay.
one.
Dan just needs to move and do the character corpse. He doesn't need, like, it doesn't matter which one it is. These are random.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, I
let me-
just didn't realize this item was one use, which makes sense.
Go get the corpse.
Okay.
The corpse of Pete.
I'm going to search before leaving this room.
Oh, man, he's not going to be able to do it. No. Oh,
What do
he's
you-
going to
what
let
do you-
us fight one more turn.
Yeah, I am. What are you doing?
What?
Oh.
Did you see that betrayal, Evan? Did you see the betrayal?
But by player 3, go figure.
Yeah. an android coming to help. Just remember that.
Remember,
Don't badmouth my friend.
don't forget
double
the
traders.
Corporate shill.
Yeah.
The corporate shill always screws us in the end.
All right. And then my second action will be to pitch a card. Maybe I'm pitching 2 cards. Yeah, I'm pitching 2 cards to carefully move into here.
Oh no! Now I have to try to be quiet.
Yeah, sorry. What do you call it? I didn't want to not spend my second action and just like not do anything on the second round.
All right.
That's all right.
Nathan, do you want to pitch 2 cards because of a traitor?
And we were doing all nice and friendly, and then an alien showed up, and everyone's for themselves now.
Yeah, now it's
Oh,
all
absolutely.
out the window. All out the window.
Yeah, I will pitch 2 cards and go here. I'll pitch rest and reload. And then I will do a search action.
Oh, all right. Maybe get something cool.
What type of item is this?
It's the ammo.
Yeah, just
Red cards.
Oh, yeah, because the color of the room. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, I wish I could take that.
If it's a heavy item, you can. You'll just have to discard one of your heavy items.
I don't want to discard one of my things.
There you go.
It's kind of the same as what I have. So
I have a big problem on my turn, though. I don't have any more ammo for my gun.
Well,
And-
So that means you
punching.
have to swing at it or flee. Yeah.
And swinging at him's not good.
you don't have any
Remember that.
ammo cards?
Not on me.
No, what do you call it? He just has the one tool. All the ammo cards are in the red deck.
Oh, well, my card, I can recharge my ammo for some unknown reason. I have a card that does it.
what?
Yeah, I have it I discarded it even. It's recharge right there. Add 1 ammo.
To your arm gun, specifically your starter weapon. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
No, I'm just reading the item I got. And... Whew.
So Evan, you can do a couple different things. You can't do any room actions. You can't search. You can't do any of that stuff. Like you said, you could melee it up if you wanted to.
Which is bad.
Yeah, you have to hit, and you can't do a double hit. It'll be a single hit if you do a double hit.
Yeah, if you fail to roll a hit on a melee roll against
It does
an
1 damage.
intruder, it causes an infection. I think you have to take another contamination card.
No, it depends on the thing. You can get it. You generally get a serious wound. So if you miss, you get a serious wound. Yeah, it says in the book it's just all serious wounds if you miss.
Quick question.
Really?
You can have up to 3 serious wounds before you die, so you could do it. Try it once.
Weapons, when you pick them up, are they fully loaded?
Yes.
Okay, so then I will actually take this. And I will get rid of this decoy, which, wow, if you read that decoy. Seems dangerous.
Okay, James is correct. Apparently, if you miss your melee attack roll, you take a serious wound, which is actually a much bigger penalty than I initially thought.
Yeah, and you got a 50% chance of hitting.
I'm sorry, you discarded your default weapon for this. Oh, energy weapon prototype rifle?
Same thing. It's the same weapon, basically. Has the same function.
It's cool.
Except it's easier to reload.
All right, so what are you
Okay.
thinking, Evan? So if you try, you have a 50% chance of hitting and a 50% chance of taking a serious wound.
Or you can run away.
If you run away, he gets a free attack on you.
Actually,
Which is a way you can get contamination.
I'm punching it.
I'll get rid of the fire extinguisher and have 2 guns.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to punch it?
Punching.
Yeah! That's 1 hit, by the way, not 2. So he will
Yeah.
get a hit.
Take it.
And you still have to
Protect two.
discard a
Which I
card.
did. Which I did. Oh, it's
Okay,
still there.
it's got 4 endurance, so it's still there.
Wait, is he? Did I hit him? I hit him once. Oh, yeah, so he's still alive. Because we had another 4 card. Are you going to try hitting him again?
Sure, I'm going to punch him again.
Okay,
This
come on,
could
you can do
only
it.
go well. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
It only
Oh!
went well. That's only 1
Oh!
damage. So is that 3?
Okay,
Take
it's
it.
still there.
Okay.
Take it.
All right. I'm shooting him in the face. So we'll do search. Discard a search. All right. So it's time to shoot him in the face.
That's a miss.
Fudge. All right. We're going to... I'm down to... I had 2 and 1. I'm going to do 0. This guy... I'm going to go ahead and discard this card. And try hitting him again.
Sure.
2 hits. That is 2 hits. So he's at 5. Come on. You need to die.
Okay, yep, he's
He
dead.
is totally dead. You see what I did there, Evan? You see what I did? I killed it.
I
Killed
watched you. You exploded it.
I did. And now we got a corpse token.
See,
Yeah, the corpse tokens are somewhere over here.
look at all the work that we're doing on our side of the ship.
I mean, I'm not sure if that was entirely intelligent spending all those resources to take out an alien, but there is a corpse, yes.
Well,
Yes, you killed an alien. We explored it a lot more, and we caused a lot less noise.
hey,
Hey, you've explored 2
You
rooms
guys
to our
do-
4.
you guys do what you want to do. This Team Awesome, is going to win. We go die. Dan's turn.
Right. So I'm doing the research. So I'm using this item ability.
Yeah, that was super helpful, Dan. Yeah.
And pitching a card, and we are
Okay.
revealing the character corpse weakness. Susceptibility to phosphates. Each intruder affected by the fire extinguisher or fire control system retreats and suffers an injury.
Oh, and I just threw away a fire extinguisher.
Well, good thing I have a corpse.
So I'm just going to leave that over here by my board since that was my personal item.
Evan, did you notice how we killed that thing?
I did.
We totally
I did.
tanked it. It was dead.
That was technically only 1 action. I think I'm just going to pass because, I only have 1 card in hand.
Yep. Whoops, sorry. I just seeing how many were in there. Okay.
Is this character corpse gone because of that, or?
No, it's still there because it's a heavy item that we could pick up and move around if we needed to.
Which is totally what I'm going to be doing with this corpse. So
Should I join Dan, or I go to a new room?
That's on you.
what are you thinking, Evan? Should we just both pass and then do careful movements out?
I think that's our only chance right now.
Because I'm going to pick up the corpse and then pass.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause,
gonna-
like, we can't really go anywhere without pretty much almost dying.
Yes. So yeah, we can move we can navigate our way back up into the upper section where there's no noise and keep going.
Yeah,
Here's
I mean, we
what I'm
could come
thinking.
here with a 50-50 shot of not having anything happen, but I don't know if we want to risk that right now.
It's up to you because you'll be the first one moving, but I'd say no.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on my turn.
I'm not sure passing does anything. Like, the noise is still going to be there unless and until you trigger an encounter.
No, we're talking
unfortunately.
about doing a quiet movement or not.
Oh, okay.
So if he passes now, he could either discard a card and move and make noise, or wait and do quiet. So that's another malfunction, and he found the monitoring room with a 2.
Okay, I roll to see what noise I make. None at
Nothing.
all.
What is wrong
Nice.
with you people?
Nice.
And once again, I used every card I had.
I call shenanigans on there.
I do too.
Okay. You guys got anything left?
Well, Evan, are you passing?
I am passing.
I'm discarding my last card so I can pick up this corpse and put it on my board. I don't need to carry around a corpse.
Sure.
Sounds typical of you.
You need a intruder carcass, not a character corpse.
Well, it's player 3. No, I'm kidding. Or am I? All right, go ahead, player 3.
No, I was on plan pass.
Okay, so Nathan.
Pass because I was on.
I'll pass them out of cards.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
so
all done at this point.
we're back to going through the normal stuff. There's not going to be an intruder, but we do need to move the token up one. Yep.
There's the time tracker. Yeah.
So then we're going to go straight to
No intruder attack. No fire.
We're going to
go to the event.
We're going to event.
There's nobody to move. Each intruder on the board, that's non-applicable at this point. So,
Good
yay.
job, us.
Now we have to develop the bag.
Excellent. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. That is an adult. All players roll for noise in turn order. Yay.
Okay, well, anyway, go ahead.
Sure, why not?
2.
Ooh, that's good. Ish.
Yeah, but I got to roll 2.
Well, roll a 1 and you'll be all right.
I got to roll an X.
You could.
4? Where's 4?
4 is this corridor.
All right, so pull something out of the bag. Now remember, this adult goes back in the bag, so we put it back in the bag and then draw me another one. I don't even know where the bag is.
Okay. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. There we go.
Okay.
What do we got?
Oh, good. I don't get affected by them. It's a larva.
A larva. Okay.
Aw,
We flip the token, and it's a 1. I have no cards in my hand, but it cannot attack me.
I have 1 card in my hand.
So you're good.
I'm sorry, it can't attack you?
Nope. Whoops. I can't be contaminated. Larvae cannot follow or infest you. And all larvae do is infest. So they don't do damage. So it can't go on my player board.
Okay.
So
all right.
Nothing. Although, Evan, I'd say we need to kill that larva or get out of the room.
Oh, I plan to not stay in this room.
Yeah, me too.
The larva doesn't have a hit point bar because 1 hit will KO it.
Right, but you could get, if you're meleeing it, you can get damaged. And I'd have to melee it too. I'm not hurting that thing. I'm running away.
It slimes you if you miss on it, right? Does it damage you? I think that.
No,
I don't think
slime is a special thing. Slime happens when you open is one of the tokens for opening a room, and it's an event.
Yeah.
You will get serious wounds if you screw with a larva.
Yeah, it can mess you up if you melee it and fail.
Yeah. So
The chance of you failing, however, is like 1 in 6.
Dan, you got to roll.
I got to roll. Cool.
Okay.
Oh.
So you get 1 in every place.
All right. But no encounters triggered.
No. Nathan has to roll now.
You made mine slightly more dangerous. 2.
2 would be this corridor.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. So ours are empty. So that noise token goes away. Nathan's going to pull from the bag. Now, the ones we pull don't go back in the bag.
That is correct. Like if this larva runs away, it'll go back in the bag. But otherwise, if it's defeated, it goes like outside of the game.
So
Adult.
Nathan gets an adult.
And of
you
course,
have
I have no
have-
cards that will just attack me.
Yeah, he will attack you. So you'll flip that card, and then maybe bad things happen, which is an adult, so he will bite you. And
If the character has 2 serious wounds, they die. Otherwise, they suffer 1 serious wound.
Okay, I get a serious wound then.
yes.
Naked,
Yep, they're right
Naked
there.
to try out his new gun.
So let's
Yeah,
see.
I got 2 guns, so I think I'll.
All right,
not too
serious
bad for
wounds
that.
are very bad all the time. So you only can draw 4 action cards now instead of 5.
Eh.
Until you dress it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the wound will still be serious, even dressed, unless you actually can heal a dressed wound. So don't forget that. Okay. That should be it. So now is bag development. No, we did bag development. I'm sorry. Now we're done.
Yeah, the bag development was what caused the noise
Right.
rolls, which generated the new monsters.
All right. So now everyone but Nathan's going to draw up to 5 cards.
I really should have kept that fire extinguisher.
Well, there's absolutely no way that you could have known that would have been happening. So, Evan gets to go first. Are we still? What are you thinking? Like, should we careful move to this place now that the other place is super bad?
That I was thinking, yeah, we should head over here.
Because if you careful move there, and then search if you can, then I will regular move and then careful move to the next one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay. We're creeping along, but I'd rather not die.
Okay, so careful move. I will 1, 2, sneak.
If you have 2 search cards, don't discard the second search card, because when I careful move to the other one, you could maybe search there.
No, I only have 1 search.
Oh.
So, and then I will search. That's what, green?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, might be helpful if that other team weren't traitors. You could maybe heal them, but.
Well, I am slightly wounded right now, so.
You do have a light wound. Okay. Yeah.
And a contamination card.
Contamination cards are slightly dangerous. Remember that any card that lets you remove contamination cards, you have to scan them.
There's a board up here that scans them.
Yeah, and infected cards never get removed. Well, through scanning. I don't know if there's a game card that can remove an infected card.
So we're going to get rid of that. Oh,
cool. Well, that dresses a serious wound. You don't have a serious wound.
Yeah.
Oh, you discarded that card. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, man. All right. So that's it for
my
you?
2.
So I'm going to do... oh, wait. You left the room with a larva. You have to let it attack you.
Larvas don't use the cards for attacks. They just infest, right?
I think it has to successfully hit you, though. I don't know what escaping a larva does. We have to look it up real quick. But you have to... You're trying to escape a larva.
Yeah. When you move out of the room, it attacks. But I think larvas don't attack. They
if a larva successfully hits, it just infects you. Right? It has to successfully hit you, though, I think. Before you move a miniature, resolve an intruder attack. It doesn't have an exception for a larva.
Check entry effect. No. Intruder attack.
Choose a character.
Oh, you just draw a card from the deck, and if it's got the larva symbol on it,
It'll
it
infect
does
you.
its thing. Otherwise,
That's what
and
I was
that is a
thinking.
that
And
is
it
a
does-
larva.
So that goes on your
Okay.
player board.
Um,
And I believe you also get an infection card.
So I take a contamination.
if the attack is performed by a larva, do not draw any intruder attack cards. Apply the following instead. Oh, remove the larva miniature from the board. Then, if the character being attacked doesn't have a larva on their character board, place one there. The targeted player also gains one contamination. So we didn't actually need to draw that card, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a spot for it really.
There's
It's a little weird. I think you were right though, because it only infests during intruder attack.
But it does. It performs an attack when he tries to escape. An intruder's
Page
attack happen
19.
when they surprise, when they attack in the event phase, or when a character tries to escape. He's trying to escape.
Resolve an intruder attack. Yeah, so I guess you automatically get the larva.
If an intruder attack, and then it says later, and if an intruder attack is performed by a larva, don't draw any attack cards, but just remove the larva, give it to the person who was attacked, and they also get a contamination card.
Yeah, you want to figure out how to get rid of that larva. So I'm still doing what I'm going to do, which doesn't affect anything, and then I'm going up here. So I'm going to have to get rid of 3 cards, and then I'm going to resolve that room.
Okay. Laboratory. There's 2 items in it. It's also on fire. Congratulations.
Because why not?
And you only take damage at the beginning of the player phase for us.
I'm sorry, fire takes place during the event phase.
Only for aliens. There's 2 different fire damages. I can look that up in a second. I got to discard my cards. You moved everything else to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And I'm in there. I'll discard my cards and then I'll look up fire. But there's 2 phases for fire. One for aliens and one for people. Or, sorry, intruders.
For all you
it's
listening,
Dan.
this is going swimmingly.
I'm doing all right. Me and Dan are doing right.
I mean, it could be worse.
I mean, I got an adult next to me, but I am super heavily armed, so I should be all right.
Yeah, Nathan, I'm hoping that you will be, because I do not feel confident engaging in combat at all. What is this? What is this item? It's a curative item. Yeah, that doesn't actually heal me. So,
So for characters, every time a character ends their turn in a room with a fire marker, the character suffers 1 light wound.
fair enough.
Remember,
Okay.
a turn is 2 actions. So that means that I lose, I get a light wound. Because I
Yeah,
ended
right
my
now.
turn on there. So for intruders, though, they only get fire damage during the event phase.
Right.
Okay, so continue.
That was you. So it's to me.
I mean, if you can do any damage to it, I mean, I might be able to finish it off on my turn.
Yeah, these things are like super like tough.
I could potentially do 3 damage with 1 attack. Potentially, small probability.
Yeah, I mean, my 2 actions are go in and then fire at it. Which, meh.
Or you could just go to a new room and let me
Meh.
deal with them.
Shoot, do I? Yeah, what do you call it? There are only 2 rooms that adjacent to the Hybertorium in that direction. I could go here. Maybe I go carefully there so I don't screw up James and Evan, because they have to go through that room too.
Well, if anyone could put out a fire, I'd be super happy.
I cannot put out a fire.
Here's what I'm going to do.
I can search and hack computers.
I'm going to get another one of these things solved up here, and take a fire damage, and hopefully someone eventually can help me out.
Okay, I'm moving carefully into this room.
Ooh.
Canteen, 1 item.
Have a snack. Discard 2 cards and you can heal.
And then that is an X, so there's no event in that room.
Yeah, unless you were slimed, which you're not.
Moved carefully, so...
Wait, where was the slime thing in the Alien universe? Where was that at? I don't remember slime.
I mean, it's basically the nest, the mucus that's all over the eggs and whatnot.
Oh, so they can like smell you or something at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Wait, this game was based around aliens?
No, it's legally distinctively different.
And I do have a search, so I'm going to go ahead and search that room. Green items, sure.
Hey, Evan, what do you think the best way to get off the ship is?
Self-destruct?
Yeah.
What? What are you guys plotting?
I'm looking to help humankind because obviously the ship is infected.
Yes.
And in order to make sure that it doesn't infect all of Earth, we may just have to become martyrs.
Yeah, let's do this shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can stay behind because you might be affected, and we can get away.
No. The dream team over there is not. We're good.
Hey,
Okay, I've done my 2. Go ahead, Nathan.
Okay,
It's 6 rounds.
Yeah, you got 6 rounds to get out. It's fine.
I'm going to shoot this alien. I spend an ammo from my...
Which gun are you using? Yeah.
Because I, in theory, can reload that one. I do 1 damage.
Okay.
I will shoot it again.
Well, it does get an endurance check. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's still there.
Because it could also retreat, too.
It could also retreat, yeah.
So I'll shoot it again with using suppressing. Discard that card. Use an ammo. Roll. And I get nothing.
Okay.
That red die has not been kind to us.
So what are you thinking, Evan?
It hasn't.
We got to get that larva off of you. I don't know how that some of the rooms can do it if you want to look at the rooms.
It doesn't. Isn't surgery the one that actually does it?
Could be.
Surgery might be the way to do it. Where's surgery on this list?
Surgery room, you can perform a surgery procedure. Scan all contaminated cards from your action and hand deck. Remove all infected cards. That would be if you have a larva
on your character board. Remove it after scanning.
Okay, so
after scanning, your character suffers 1 light wound. You automatically pass.
So, here's the thing. How many cards do you have?
2.
2.
So
that means you could insta die if one of these is infected.
Here's the downside, though. So the 2 cards I have, one of them is a contamination card, so I only have 1.
Okay, so there's only 1 in your discard?
I have 1 in my discard, 1 in my hand.
The 1 in your hand doesn't count.
So you can't use it to take the action.
You can't use it to pay the action cost of the room, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you literally, if you only have the infection card in your hand, you can't do anything.
Oh, I have another card.
Oh, yeah, you could do it for that. But you won't have to scan the card in your hand. You would just scan. So you have a pretty good chance of that not being an affected card, but you could just die now. So
what he's saying is it costs 2, so he only has 1 he can spend.
Oh, it costs 2.
It does. Unless he has a card. Unless he has a card that allows him to use the room action for 1, which Normally, that's only like, if there's a computer there or some other weird case.
Yeah.
So, but I ideally need to get contamination off of me too, correct?
Well, you have to have the larva off, because if you have a larva and you escape
No.
you will
Read
die.
the description of the surgery again. Step 1, scan all your contamination cards from your action deck, hand, and discard. Remove all that are infected. Then clear the larva.
No. You never remove infected that are
No,
not
it says
infected.
right there. Remove all infected cards. That's the action that allows you to remove infected cards. He can't do it. We've
Oh,
established
that's
that.
really good. I would search or pass and just stay where you're at. And let me burn up a little bit. Because you want to do that. You can get rid of the larva and your infected cards. Next
That's
time.
really all I can do.
Yeah, because we need you cleaned up so we can blow up this dang ship.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to pass.
All right. Well, I'm discarding 2 cards to discover the cure.
You've got invader body corpse.
Oh, that's the way to
Species
go.
on the brink of extinction. The amount of injuries you need to kill an intruder is decreased by 1.
Sure.
Look at that, Evan. We're awesome. Team awesome.
We're actually doing something on our
Oh,
side.
I get another light wound because I'm deciding to stay in a room that is on fire.
You're
Sounds
sympathetic.
great. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, nothing to see here except for a burning corpse. All right.
It smells like burning plastic in there.
Pretty much. Dan?
Uh,
By the way, I have a
I
flammable
not-
item if you want to come and trade at some point.
Why would I want a flammable item? I'm on fire.
For crafting.
Oh, can I get a fire extinguisher?
Is that one of the things you can craft?
No.
now, a fire icon you could turn into an antidote, a flamethrower, or a Molotov cocktail.
I'm leaving this
I was
dang
like,
room.
oh, does he have a different list than me?
And initiate self-destruct and start moving. We're going to blow this popsicle stand, Evan.
I've
Hey,
got 2 cards left. I guess I could move carefully out of this room.
See, in theory, it's how we activate self-destruct, and eventually the escape pods will open.
You're right. That's
Yes,
true.
but we also have to make sure the ship's going to the right.
No,
Oh, no,
not
the
if you're not in
escape pod
not if
can
you're in
go.
an escape pod. We
Yeah,
just
not
have
if
to,
you're in an escape
we just
pod.
have to make sure those other 2 jerks don't get in the escape pods and leave without us.
All right, yeah, I'm going to do this even though it's a terrible idea. I'm going to move carefully into this. This room,
okay.
because it's a shorter route. Sorry.
Oh, you got the nest,
Lovely.
which
Oh,
the nest can't have any items in it, and you do get slimed.
I do get slimed. Where's my slime token? Oh, that's right. It's here.
It's on your player board. You just put a little thingy on it.
So we know, don't go this way.
Well, now he has direct access to the eggs. He can destroy them or whatever. Some objectives have that on there. But whatnot, he is in a nest.
I am in the nest. I am in the nest.
Mama's usually close to the nest.
Yes, she is.
But yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm done. Stick a fork
And
in me.
that mini is so cool because it's like holding like the little face huggers and
so my turn again.
Yeah, you careful moved into that too. That's good. You should see what happens with a nest.
I am gonna try to kill this guy again.
Yay, killing guys. Okay.
Ah.
No, it's
Yeah,
an
that's a
adult.
miss on an
Oh,
adult, right?
Wait,
Yep,
what marker is that one? I'm getting tired.
that's a larva.
That's the larva?
It's a larva. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's the S if it's the other. Oh, yeah.
I'll try again.
Oh, my God.
Oh dear God.
So Nathan's out of cards and will die soon. All
Nate,
right.
do you need one of us over here? We're specialists at killing these aliens.
Yes, we're very good at it.
You unarmed people.
Evan has a alien baby right now, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. So Nathan's done.
Worst that could happen.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? So it's back to Dan.
Okay, I'm out of cards. I'm on to plan pass.
All right, so it's back to Nathan.
I'm out of cards. Pass.
All right, so we do have an intruder on the board. But the first thing we do is we move the time marker down. We do Intruder Attack next.
So this card comes out, and that is an adult. So it's going to bite Nathan. And they take one serious wound, I guess. And then there's an arrow icon on it. Oh, no, it doesn't run away unless it's revealed.
Right, yeah, you just ignore that
as an
bar.
endurance roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So fire, any intruders in an area that's on fire will now take an injury, which is none. And now we will resolve an event.
I must immediately drop one of my heavy items.
Yeah, so do that.
Oh.
So what do you call it? No, nothing moves because he's already engaged.
But this goes to 0.
Set each item count in a room with fire to 0.
Yeah, so this one has to go.
Place a fire marker in each room neighboring a room with a fire marker. So this room is adjacent. This room is adjacent.
I hate Jason rooms. Okay, so yeah,
James, what are you doing to us?
Spreading fire. And again, 8 fire, the place explodes. So
This ship is in shambles.
this ship is on fire. All right. So
I might change my plan here.
It's broken. It's on fire.
Someone needs to put out these fires, and it's not me because I don't have any way of doing it. Intruder bag development time.
Right.
Because it needs to get more deadly.
The larva comes out of the bag and is replaced with an adult token.
Yeah. How many are in the bag right now? 11.
I mean, there's 11 tokens total, but I don't know the consistency of the bag to start with.
We've been getting rid of a lot of adult tokens every time we pull them out, so that was good. Oh no, you return it. No, you return it. Go ahead.
Here's a possible plan. If somebody can fix the hatch, we can use that to help us escape.
Yeah, if somebody can fix the hatch, they can then use the hatch to unlock escape pods. And then this is one of the 2 rooms that provides access to the escape pods.
How about I start the ship exploding, and then you can always do the hatch room.
See, and the downside though is there's a lot of noise getting to that.
I mean, yeah, no, it's not pretty. It's not pretty.
All right. Anyway,
but also, I don't think we have time for the self-destruct because the fire, at the way it's spreading, it might not.
it doesn't spread every turn.
The fire's not gonna spread again unless an event tells it to spread.
Oh, okay, I didn't.
The fire's just gonna stay in those rooms.
Although, if the fire does spread,
it's gonna spread a lot.
It's gonna spread a lot. A lot. So if we have a fire extinguisher guy, this would be great.
If the fire spreads again, it's gonna be another 3 rooms, and we only have 5 fire tokens. We also have 5 malfunction tokens left in the supply.
Oh no, it'll be 4
details.
rooms. It'll be 4 rooms.
Okay.
These are minor details.
Anyway,
Minor detail.
I would suggest suffering a light wound to clean yourself up there, Evan.
Are we drawing cards now?
Oh yeah, 5. Yeah, we're good. Because no, you could clean yourself up and then move out of that room.
Okay, so I have to take a wound now right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. So
No, you
I
don't
do
take
have-
a light wound now. You take a light wound at the end of your turn.
oh, okay.
However, you'll take a light wound for doing your fixing yourself up.
Okay.
But
So
you
if I
need to
fix
do anyway.
if I fix myself up, that's still only one action, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
So I'm
then-
going to fix myself up. Yeah. Oops, grabbed the wrong card. 1, 2.
All right.
All right.
Now
So
you have to
what do I do?
scan all your contaminated cards,
Including the one in my discard?
including the
Yeah,
one you
all of
discard,
them.
and any infected cards only get discarded.
Where is...
You should have
There's
two.
there's one there. Do you
Okay.
have any in hand?
I do. I'm just throwing it in my hand, going up here. Where is it? There it is. So what do? I just put it over it?
Just put one. Just drop a card onto the board and then give it a second. That
Okay.
one's clear, so it's not going to be removed from your deck. It's going to go back to your discard pile. That one is also clear.
But you get to remove your larva, and most other actions let you scan your deck to remove the cards if they're not infected, so you can get rid of those in the future. But
Yeah,
you
the
will,
larva mini goes away. I'll get rid of it there for
and
you.
you will
Okay.
suffer a light wound
Okay.
for your efforts. And then you have a second action. I would probably suggest leaving.
No. When he uses the room, he has to pass. That's the end of his to go.
Oh man! So then, pass.
Yeah, it's right here under surgery.
All right. So
Well,
then you're gonna lose both.
After a surgery creature, you always pass your round, and your hand is empty until the start of your next turn.
Well, if that's the case, I'll do... I had a search that I was going to do too in there, so...
Okay, you could search before you do the surgery.
I'll search
sure.
and then do.
Yeah.
Can you
So-
search if the room's on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
Yeah.
this shit is on fire. It's okay if it's on fire. It doesn't matter. It's okay. It's okay.
Alright.
I mean, the bad news is that he's ending his turn in a room with fire, so he's going to take a serious wound.
Yeah, he will.
That's okay, but I got a green, so I can...
You
Take care of
remove
that.
now both light wounds, and you'll take a serious wound.
Yep.
I'll take it.
I do have my plan. I'm gonna kill this and eventually kill this intruder. Then I'm gonna get to unlock the escape pod, and I'm going to the escape pod.
You do have
Hopefully
to
somebody-
roll for noise when you go to the escape pod.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Oh, and that's a with all that noise around there, that's bad. Actually, yeah.
Well, you have to consider you're going to probably trigger an encounter. You will have to kill
Oh.
it and then move on.
Each time you pass in the player phase, the character suffers one light wound. You're bleeding from surgery. You didn't quite succeed your surgery roll there.
Oh, man. Everything's okay, guys. Everything's all right.
All right. So Evan now passes.
No, that was from passing.
That was from passing. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and do one movement here and one movement here.
Here?
So I have to discard 2 cards and roll the noise die. So hold on.
Leave me behind, bleeding, dying. It's all right.
That's okay.
On fire. Don't forget
Yeah.
on fire.
Well, I can't carry you, so
What is it? Should that, like, cauterize my wounds? Just saying.
sometimes the cure is worse than the Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right. So I discard my 2 cards. I have to roll the noise die. Noise all around.
Oh.
That sounds great.
All right, moving along. Dan.
Why are you such noisy people?
I gotta figure out how to get. Well, actually, I'm really surprised the technical quarter has not had any noise in it. So technically, I can do a quiet movement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. As long as I'm here, I am gonna use one of my actions to pick up an egg. Sure, why not?
All right. So when you pick up an egg, you have to do a noise roll and all sorts of. You know what happens when you pick up an egg?
No.
You take one egg from the intruder nest. After that, you perform a noise roll. The egg token is placed in the intruder board.
Oh, it's 2 to take an egg. I thought it was just pick up an item.
2 to take an egg, but I believe if you trigger an encounter, it's always the queen.
Oh wow! Let me read this before I do this. This sounds worse than.
This is a good idea. You should go through with it.
It doesn't say queen, but I thought reading it was said queen. The rooms are in the back here too. Right?
Okay. Nope. Just taking egg. It just looks like I pitch 2 cards and then make a noise roll. So yeah, no, I'll pitch the extra card. That's fine.
The queen is in there, right? Is in the thing. In the bag?
No. The queen is in the bag. Yes, somewhere. Okay. There's no noise adjacent to that room right now, so I'm cool with rolling noise.
Just room 1. Okay.
All right, and then my my second action will be just a normal movement into this room, I guess.
So you have to roll again?
Sure. 1 is this corridor. All right. I don't know how relevant it will be, but I will check the coordinates on my next go just to find out what they are.
Set us for Earth, right? I'm going to try and kill this alien again.
Maybe.
Are you kidding me?
What'd you get? Larva?
Another larva only result.
Man, that guy's going to kill you. If he dies, the escape pods open up.
Oh, yes.
You got a hit. You've been reducing your ammo, right?
Yeah, I didn't do it this time, but I used up 1 entire weapon.
That
3.
kills it because its endurance is 3 and it takes 1 hit less because of the research.
Yeah.
Science for the win.
Science.
Adult.
That was both my actions.
That was this token. That token's no longer out.
All
Actually,
right.
neither is that token. That was the larva.
Evan had to pass. I'm going to go ahead and initiate the self-destruct.
Now, question is, do I take a light wound from my bleeding because I passed during the player phase?
No, you're good. You're already passed.
Yes. Once you pass, you're just done for the rest of the round.
Oh, so it's not like you continue to pass. Okay.
Where's the token for the destruction countdown?
If you select, you could just drag a red cube out of somebody's supply. There we go. That'll work.
Right. So, you guys can cancel the self-destruct all the way until it gets to yellow, and then it's going to happen.
Then it's confirmed. I'm sorry. Does that initiate stop self-destruct? Okay, we have to do it in there if we're going to stop it.
Do you have to do it in there?
I mean,
if you don't have a card or folder thing to do it,
yeah,
yes.
there might be a way to remotely do it in any room with a computer. That's, I guess, a thing. So I don't know if I could do that or not.
I'm going to search the room. I'll go ahead and discard this one. Okay. So I gotta move this around to the right spot here. All right, Dan.
Yeah, I've got 2 cards left, so I think I'm gonna check the coordinates. Let me just make sure I need how to do that.
You can do one of 2 things. You can either check the coordinates or change the number or letter.
The cockpit, there it is. Check coordinates or set donation.
Yeah, it'll cost you 2 cards
Okay,
either way.
so all right. Well, I need to look at the card before I change it. So
randomly just set a letter. Just randomly.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, I'm gonna peek. Okay.
Where we heading,
All right.
Dan?
Well, we're not headed towards Earth right now, sadly, tragically. So I'm gonna have to spend another 2 cards next turn in order to set it to the right number.
Or Mars. I don't know. Where are you going? Where are you going?
The right number, the correct letter will be C. I will reveal that information.
All
That
right.
is Earth.
Nathan, what are you doing?
I am gonna search. So I'm gonna get 2 ammo cards.
There's no items left in that room there, Nathan.
It's
on
never
0.
been searched.
Oh,
It's on 2.
it's on 2. I was looking at the wrong spot. Sorry.
Ooh, okay.
Remember, if you pick a heavy item, you have to reveal it.
I like both of the items I picked up. I will keep this one. I will get rid of this recon drone, unfortunately.
What happened to your 2 weapons?
I had to discard one of them because of my
Oh, your arm. Okay,
arm
gotcha.
injury.
Okay, fair enough.
So back to... Did Dan pass? It's back to
Not
Dan.
yet, but I'm on 0 cards, so I'm passing now.
Back to Nathan.
I have 1 card left. I could move.
Could move.
It's
Question-
a risky move.
I mean, could try to find the other escape pod.
Right, there's a second copy of this room.
Right.
I would super
Yeah, 'cause-
appreciate it if you could find the second escape pod.
Yeah, because right now only 2 people are getting into that escape pod.
Well, it's going to
So-
unlock all the escape pods.
I
Question-
don't know if there's a second copy of this room that unlocks them, but they're going to unlock automatically in 3 rounds anyways, so
Right. The
it doesn't
question
matter
is-
surviving that long.
But that
Making
one's,
sure the ship doesn't fall apart.
Wait,
Which it
wait. What number was this one on? Oh, we searched it down. Okay, never mind. Okay.
We
Yeah.
searched this down.
Okay.
The question is, do I move towards Dan or away from Dan? Well, either way, there's 3. I will think I'll move here. So get rid of that card.
Oh, you,
Oh,
Found
wow!
I know where I'm heading.
Whoops,
Yeah.
where's the... flip that.
There's the token.
Oh,
It-
no. You have
it's
to fix
out
it.
of order. It's out of order right now.
But Nathan
Well,
can
that's-
fix that.
Yeah.
All right, roll noise, man.
One.
One
That's our
is
first
the
technical
technical
corridor.
corridor.
Oh, okay. Not a great place for it, that.
Oh man, that was my hope, was to sneak through the ducts to get there.
All right. Nathan, you taking a
You-
second action or passing?
I'm out of
You
cards.
still
so I have to
could.
pass.
All right, yeah, we're on the event phase, I think.
So both
Right.
both markers get moved down. Well, we're at 5.
Yeah.
5. Yeah. All right.
Event card or
No
Yeah, there's
intruder
nothing- no-
attacks. Fire damage. No.
no intruders, no
Event
fire
card now.
damage. Event card now. There's nothing, no intruders to move. Put a malfunction marker in each room with an adult, breeder, or queen. There's no aliens on the table, so no, we don't have to worry about that.
So we're good until we have to develop the bag. So let's see what happens.
All right, so we just developed the bag. It's an adult.
Oh, that's what the
Yeah.
queen. That's where. So if you pull the queen marker on here, it goes to the nest. If there are any characters in the nest room, place the queen miniature in that room and resolve an encounter. That's how
Otherwise,
that
add an egg token to the board.
All right, so adult, so everyone has to roll noise.
Yeah.
Starting with Evan.
All right.
Well, I don't even know. Like, you could roll an X, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how I die.
2. That's this one. So yeah, that's a trigger.
Well, the only good thing is it cleared some path, I guess. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
All right, wait a second. This needs to go back in the bag before you.
Okay, what you gonna get? Probably a larva, because you just cleaned
All
that
right,
up.
ready?
An adult.
Yeah,
But
why
you
not?
have cards in your hand, so you might be okay. So let's.
4.
Yeah, no.
All right, so he attacks. What happens?
Claw. Suffer 2 light wounds and gain a contamination card.
Awesome. I just needed another one of these.
Yeah, but at least it's not like gonna be a death. So
2 light wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
probably not. We'll see. I would suggest just trying to. I don't know. I don't know if you want to try to kill that intruder or just run away.
I'm gonna try and run away.
Yeah, that's what I would do. You can run. He will give you one swipe on his way out, but you don't have to roll.
James, roll your noise.
No, I was delaying.
I know
2.
that is a trigger.
No, 2 isn't a trigger. Was there one?
Yeah,
in
no,
two?
there was
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So
I just
remove
moved
all
it.
those.
Yep.
Come on, larva. Another adult.
How many adults are in there?
Well, I know which way I'm not going.
That adult's surprise value is 4.
But the nice thing is when we kill those guys, whoops, they don't come back. So they don't go back in the bag. I get 2. I don't get a contamination card, but I get 2. I get a 1, 2, so I get a serious wound.
Really? It was a duplicate? It was. Okay.
Where's my serious wounds?
All right. Here goes. I'm going to spawn a guy, probably. The way we're going. 3. That is not a guy.
4 instead of 5. That's really bad.
All right. I rolled my noise.
What'd you get?
This,
I wasn't paying attention.
A 3. So
You consistently make noise in the room, in the corridor attached to mine.
Yep, pretty much. Roll and die. I mean,
me? Yes, absolutely.
2.
Oh,
Two is
that's
the-
tactical quarter.
2 is the technical corridor. Yeah.
That goes
So
away
what do
too.
you get?
Let me grab. I got it. Larva.
Flip the larva token. You don't have any cards in your hand, do you?
No. Oops.
So the larva goes on your character sheet, and you get a contamination card. Also,
might have-
you can't go to the. I would not go to the escape pod until you get rid of the larva because you will insta die at the end.
Great. I get a contamination card.
Yeah, and the only way to get rid of the larva is the surgery room all the way down here.
Great.
Unless there's a card I don't know about, because I don't know what the cards are. So there might be a green card. I don't know. There's only, I don't know. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I do know I am not going to complete my objective.
I'm gonna blow up the ship. I don't think anyone could stop me because I'll just keep turning it back on. So I suggest escaping and doing your thing. All right, so everyone draw up. I can only draw up to 4 cards.
Right.
And apparently I can only heal myself with repair cards.
That is what your special ability says.
So what does that mean specifically? You can only be dressed with tools and or duct tape. So if I run a repair, I can dress my wound. But
I'm sorry, if you have a tool or duct tape item card, you can use it to dress a wound. Yes.
Yes. Yep, that's exactly what I said.
All right, so what's the easiest path for me to get there?
Maybe I don't waste time changing the target for the computer. If we're all on plan abandoned ship, what do you guys think? Do I bother changing the target for the navigation?
I would say no. Just try to get to an escape pod. Either repair the one that's in the room over there. Try to keep yourself clean in the meantime and get off the ship. Evan's going to take a wound. You got a choice. I would say you could either try to escape 2 adults and go to another room, or move to escape an adult and move to the fire and guarantee have 1 wound at least.
So I'm gonna escape. I'm going against 2 adults is suicidal.
Potentially. I don't think any of the reductions help with that.
So I'm gonna run toward the fire.
Oh,
You're gonna
actually,
run through the fire.
That adult would have. Oh wait, the adult was spawned after fire damage. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you will have to flip the adult to see. So he'll attack. So you have to flip him to see if he does something to you.
yeah,
You will gain a serious wound.
Oh, I might die here.
Oh, yes.
This isn't looking good, guys.
From now on, the cost of your escape movement action is 2.
Good. Just what I wanted.
That's escape movement, which is not what you're doing anymore.
Right.
Okay,
Did you do 1 card? Or did you do 2? To move out? Or do you have to roll for noise, basically, at this point?
Which one would be... I don't know which one to do.
I mean, there's no noise tokens currently adjacent to the room that you're moving into. So you could create noise if you just want to book it as fast as possible.
I would say create noise.
What I would suggest.
If you roll a 1 or 2, then you can move again and not worry about. There's a slight chance that you could get it the second time, but you're fine now. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll make some noise. I'll pitch 1.
If you're worried next time, then you do 2.
So we'll pitch that. Roll this terrible die.
1. So it is that corridor that you just moved through.
All right, and then
So that's the most ideal.
now the question now is, what are you going to do? Are you going to... You have a 50-50 chance of 1 through 4 getting it, or the X or the other thing. Yeah, you have a...
Problem is, he dies.
What's that?
He dies at the end of his turn, no matter what.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have 3 serious wounds.
No. He bleeds and gains his 3rd serious wound, and then fire damage causes him to die.
How's he bleeding?
I'm sorry, he hasn't dressed this yet.
Oh, he hasn't passed yet, though.
Yes, but as soon as he passes,
I can't take care of that though.
He can heal himself. It's fine. He doesn't have a choice. He has to keep going. I mean, it has to.
So I'm gonna move
Okay.
Now,
If you move, you're dead. I'm pretty sure.
If he moves, he's not dead.
when do you take the fire damage?
You would take it at the end of your turn, and then the next turn you're going to have to move and then heal. You'll have to do that, and then that's the only way you can survive. You're on the brink of death. That
sounds like
your only chance is to keep moving out and move out again and heal yourself. You're probably going to end up in the nest, which would be the weirdest, safest place.
Or you can go to this room here.
Yeah.
Which gets him closer to the escape pods.
That's also true. It's probably worth it. Like, who cares? You have a good chance of dying.
Yeah, why not?
Did you do 1 card or 2 cards?
There's no noise there, so you can do just 1.
Oh, no, there's noise.
There's noise on 2 corridors there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those 2. Okay, never mind.
How many sided die is that?
It's a 10-sider, and the numbers 1 through 4 each appear twice. So it's like a 40% chance of causing an encounter if he does not move carefully.
So we're gonna pitch 2 on that.
All right. So you will take a light wound.
Make sure you save enough to heal.
Oh, wait. Roll your noise first, and then take your light wound.
Well, no, I spent 2, so I don't have to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you just take your light wound.
Okay, so that kicks me to a serious wound. So depending on the serious wound, I might die next round anyways.
Might.
Yeah. If you can't move and heal, you're dead.
And...
Hand. The cost of all your item actions is increased by 1. Oh man.
No.
That probably just ruins the math, right?
I have 2 cards, and I can...
Here's a problem.
I can dress my bleeding on my turn, so I won't die.
But then you're still in a fire room.
That will kill you. So if you take any wound whatsoever, you will die. You will pretty much, without having to move, you're going to have to be able to dress and fix one of these wounds. Or move and
dress
heal.
A wound. Or, move and get rid of bleeding.
Yeah, get rid
That's
of bleeding.
my turn for right now. Well,
yeah, man, you're in a tough shape there.
It's not looking good. It's not
looking good. I'm leaving this stupid thing behind.
Man.
I don't know what to do. I have a wound. Yeah, I'm not sitting here punching this thing to death. I'm leaving.
I would not recommend punching now.
Do I want... Yeah, dang it. I'm going to go ahead and just quiet move out. And we're going to move this card over and flip it. I don't get a contamination card, but I get a light wound. Which is my second. Okay. I will then... I'm in relative safety if I move another one. Which one do you think's better? It's probably the one that's fixed. I could fix the other one, though.
So can I, actually.
I'm pretty much ending my turn here, just doing a careful movement.
Yeah, but the issue with this one over here is you're almost guaranteed to get in an encounter and not get in.
Yeah, I'm probably going to come up with you. And we'll probably try to escape together.
Okay. Yep.
That's it. I'm actually out. So it's Dan's turn.
All right. Let me think about what I want to do here.
Not die.
Not die, obviously.
Dan actually has the best chance of just living.
I'm going to get rid of my slime token, I think, first.
Oh, do you have a thing to do that?
I'm going to use the thing on the item action on my clothes here that I just revealed.
Oh, okay. Throw away your clothes.
Because I don't want to move around with the slime token on me. That's
why?
Incredibly dangerous.
Why
Incredibly
not?
dangerous.
You know. I would move to that room, do some searching, try to fix that room or whatever, and let's get the heck out of here because that timer's gonna count down.
Okay. I guess I can move there just normally since there aren't any noise tokens adjacent to it. Sure. And those are my 2 actions.
But you still have to roll for noise. Oh no, there's a person there. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, there's a person there. Yeah. I'm fine.
So Nathan,
So what happens if I get into the escape pod with a larva, exactly?
you will die.
You die.
Game.
That's it. I just die.
Well,
Great.
At the end game, the end game, you check stuff. If you have a larva, let me read.
You need a larva and a card that scans as infected, I think, in order to die.
If that's the case, I might be
on.
on.
Let me double check. So just talk among yourselves for a second.
Okay.
So what happens? Player goals at end of game. End of game. Engine check, coordinates check, contamination check. Each living character, either asleep or hibernation or evacuated state, checks their contamination card. A, the player uses the scanner to check the contaminated cards in the action deck or discard part. If there is at least one infected card or larva on that player board, that player shuffles all their cards, draws 4 cards. If an contamination card is revealed, they immediately die.
Okay. I only have 1 contamination card out of 10.
All the larva means is it guarantees you that you have to shuffle your deck and draw 4 cards. If one of them is a contamination, you die.
Okay.
Yeah, but 1 contamination card among 11 isn't. I mean, it's a something, but it's not. Could be worse. Could be worse.
It's just that's what that means. So you can mitigate your risk with that knowledge.
Be in my position.
Yeah, I mean, you could be much worse off.
Okay, first thing off, I'm going to motivate. So, Dan and I both draw a card.
Cool.
Dan and I both draw a card.
And then I'm going to repair.
Discard
2 cards.
If you could motivate when I was there, I need 1 more card to survive.
Sorry, can't do it.
What action does repair?
I'm sorry, it's a card action.
It's a card action.
Basic repairs. Okay, cool. Yep. So that room's repaired now. And that was your 2 actions, right?
Yep.
All right. So, Evan, try to live, please.
There's no way.
Can you dress one of your wounds?
I can dress a serious wound, but then it costs me because
it costs him both his cards to do so.
It'll cost me both my cards to do so, and then I'll have to
suffer
pass.
A wound and you'll die.
And I'll suffer my wound and die.
Weren't you the first to die when we played last time?
I was. Now I could move away.
Spoilers.
You could move away, but then you can't dress your wounds and you die to bleeding, right?
See, I can move twice and then delay it a turn.
How do you delay it a turn? Oh, by not passing.
By not passing.
And
you can move twice and reveal 2 rooms
and
to help us out.
Maybe someone that is close to you that still has cards because they just did a command could help you.
That's my only hope.
That's what I would do.
So, we're going to move here and probably find something that'll eat my face.
Engine control room. You could check the status of the engine from this room.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, there's no noise for moving in there.
Nice.
All
and
right.
there's one, item count 1.
So you got to chuck a card for that.
Chuck a card for that. And then I will go again. to here.
Chuck a
Chuck a
card
card.
and roll
for
some
noise.
noise.
There it is.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, noise tokens all around. Maybe Nathan will be, or Dan will be kind enough to come over and help you.
Doesn't have to worry about noise since he's moving to somebody.
Yeah. Moving to somebody's good.
Moving back.
Well, I'll still
Well,
be
he's
there.
there. Yeah, so it's good either way. So
That's whether Dan has anything that he can heal with.
I'm out.
No, I have nothing.
All right, so Dan's corporate, so he's probably lying. Anyway, so Dan, what you gonna do?
I'm going to search, I think, as my first one.
Find something that'll help me.
I will look at green cards.
He didn't say he'd help you. He said he'd look at green cards.
He can't. Most likely. If you got something that can take a larva off of me or a wound off of me, that would be great.
I don't know how those cards work because I haven't been picking up any. I don't know if it says other player or any player.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Oh, wow. That's, or dress a serious wound? Oh, well.
Oh, I thought it was just the first line. Oh, well. I may have just grabbed the wrong item.
So he's okay.
I think maybe we'll search again. I don't know.
So I'm seeing not heal Evan.
Yeah, not heal 11.
Man, that has been
Leaving me in the trenches. Taking grenades
all right,
here.
I'm gonna look at tools this time.
Oh, because the help Evan cards are in the tools.
He's pretty much said you're dead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take either one of those. They're both fire extinguishers, and I need to hold on to my egg. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, I'm done.
I only have one card, so I think I'm just gonna pass.
All right, back to Dan.
Okay.
Oh no, it's Evan, and Evan dies.
And Evan dies.
Now we have an extra character corpse token.
All right, escape pods activate.
Yay! Thank you, Evan.
You're welcome.
All right, Dan, what you doing?
I mean, I could just hop into escape pod now, right?
You have to.
That's the action of this build a room.
Yeah. So the way it's going to work is you can pay your two things. You have to roll for noise.
So there's a 20% chance that something bad will happen. Cool.
Not that I wish that upon you.
Let me just check the text on the escape room. Where's the escape room on here? Evacuation section. There it is. Make a noise roll. If an intruder appears, the escape attempt fails.
So basically, if you roll it and there's no intruder in there, you can go into escape pod. There's 2 seats in the escape pod. At that point, you can choose to launch the escape pod, or wait, or leave the escape pod.
You know what? This is a terrible decision, but I'm going to make it. I am going to pitch my last 2 cards to make this attempt. Sure. If an intruder shows up, I am foobarred because I'm guaranteed to trigger an attack, or a surprise.
Do you have any infected cards? Contaminated cards?
No, I don't.
Man, he might be the only survivor.
2. 2 is
You're good.
the technical
Events.
corridor. So I'm in escape pod, And I can launch this right away, you say?
Yep, you can choose.
Away we go.
Hey, you're leaving me.
So he's totally out of the game now.
Yep. I will stop taking my turns at this point.
So just
And I
wait.
will allow you to resolve the game as you see fit.
Corporate. And the good old alien or android is saving the day, which she'll probably die. All right, so now we have to go through that horrible stuff. There are intruders on the board. So the first thing is we had to move all these markers down. 4.
So the Intruder Attack card determines what moves, right?
Yep.
Or how they move.
Does this intruder take damage first? Because he's in a...
This intruder takes 8 points because he's in a fire room. Yes. There we go.
So yeah, well, intruders attacks first and then fire damage. So first you're going to...
Okay, wait a second. The intruder doesn't have anybody to attack because he's not in the room with a player.
Right. So then he gets his fire damage.
So he gets his fire damage.
Then we resolve
then the event happens, right?
Doesn't he move when
Not
he?
yet.
No,
Okay.
he
now.
moves here. The event card says that all adults will move through the corridor marked 3.
Yeah.
So this adult goes here, and this adult actually goes there.
They're very confused. All right. So then remove one escape pod token with the lowest number on it.
So that would be the 2 that is over here.
Awesome.
So you have to get up to this one.
Yep. And there's exactly the right amount of space for the people that are left in the game.
Oh,
remove
you could
this
leave
event
James
from the
behind.
game and reshuffle the event deck.
Okay. All right. Got it.
All right. So then we look at this intruder card, which is an adult. Nathan and I both roll for noise, starting with me first.
I'm sorry, you did bag development then?
Yep.
You're on bag development then? Okay.
So nothing for me. Nathan? 3. Oh, wow.
3 is that one. Okay.
Although there's absolutely no chance of you getting in an escape pod.
Well, he could roll next.
He could roll next.
Sure,
Yeah.
there's a 1 out of 10. 10% chance. So that's it for that guy. He goes back in his little pool there to go swimming. Those guys are all gone because your dad are on the board.
Yeah, there's 2 adults on the board, and those represent those 2
Yeah.
tokens right there.
So that's it. We're going to start a new round. I'm going to draw 4 cards. Oops, okay, I need to shuffle that. And it depends on how I want to go out, I think.
You're here in the Hybridatorium, James?
Yeah, I'm in the Hybridatorium.
Okay.
So if there's an intruder in the escape pod room, you cannot get into the escape pod, correct?
That is correct, I believe.
And I can't silent move into the next room.
Nope.
But I can silent move into this room.
Right, but what's the point?
Yeah.
This is the only way you can escape.
No, I can escape with this too.
There's no pod.
No, there's no pods in Section B anymore. There's only a pod left in Section A.
Oh.
Yeah, that pod jettison kind of screwed you.
If you wanted to make your way there, your shortest route without causing problems would probably be, oh man, it's bad. It's all the way like through here.
And you still got a chance of causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
You you're actually a higher risk that way, I think, than going the short way. Because you got
Hey! If you do not sneak into this room, it'll automatically cause an encounter. It'll clear away this token, and they'll improve the chances that you might be able to escape. I don't know. Seems bad.
The numbers aren't good anyway. You break it down.
I think that's your only chance. I mean, or you go all the way and deactivate the self-destruct and try to get the
Try to fix the ship. Try to fix the ship with only 2 people left. One of them heavily injured. Seems great to me.
I mean, you'd have to go to deactivate the self-destruct and get up here and change the course.
No, I'm not deactivating the self-destruct. I just don't know if Nathan's going to make it off with me. I'm deciding whether I just want to cancel his thing. What should I do, Nathan?
Do something.
Well, you need to start getting towards that escape part.
I'm going to go ahead and discard these 2 cards to move in here.
You can't move silently.
You can't move silently into that location.
That's right. I'm going to discard the 1 card.
All right.
Which is
You're going to make a noise roll, and it's going to automatically succeed. Unless you roll an X. All right.
So it
that's
will
not X.
succeed, but he doesn't attack me.
Well, you have to draw a token out of the bag to see what shows up.
Oh, that's true. If it's a larva, I don't care. Let's see what it is first.
Make sure it's random.
It's an adult.
Adult.
2. He won't bother me right now.
Okay, but he's there.
So he's not in combat with me, so I can escape without having a problem.
Oh no! If you escape, he still attacks you.
Not with that card. He's not in combat with me for this turn or round.
Are you using a special card to escape?
Yes, it's called deactivate.
When you trigger an encounter, play this card to ignore the intruder's attack. You pass automatically. Your turn's done.
Oh, I have to pass.
Yeah, that's part of deactivate.
No, I'll keep it in my hand. I'm good.
Okay.
He can attack me.
All right. You're going to still escape?
No. I'm going to get attacked.
I mean, it only attacks you when you move out.
Oh, it's a 2. It's a 2 anyway, so he doesn't get a surprise. All right.
Yeah, there's no surprise.
All right, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm going to do another move and let him...
Take a swipe.
Well, Nathan gets to go, right?
No, that was 1 action.
That's 1 action.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go ahead and let him have a swipe.
Why not use that escape one and not have the swipe? I don't want
to. It doesn't work that way because I have to pass, and I don't want to pass.
Oh, okay.
All characters in the room.
No, it does not attack because the adult symbol isn't on the card.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so I'm out. Nathan, don't leave without me.
Wait, you still have to roll for noise. Unless you did 2 cards.
No, I did 1. Don't leave without me, Nathan.
Well,
4.
You
gummed up this one.
Yeah, now
So
you guys can't leave.
Now you guys can't leave. It's going to make another alien.
Well, we'll kill it. All right. Do your best.
Well, I might as well try to get into the escape pod.
Right, because you roll an X, you actually do enter, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to discard 2 cards.
Oh!
Okay, all right.
And I'm taking off.
So the question is, I can deactivate the stuff. The ship. I could keep going.
You could keep going because the ship hasn't blown up yet, and you can save the ship. You can save the ship.
I can.
Like, if you get back to the hibernatorium in one piece and it's pointed towards Earth and there's at least 2 engines working, you could still reveal your objective and potentially still be a winner.
Now, you only have 1. You have to get the self-destruct turned off this turn, though.
Oh, right, because it becomes irreversible, right? Once it gets to 3.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
Well, I can do that.
You
So-
can do that?
I can. So but I have to do this first. So I'm gonna roll. Oh, good. I'm fine.
Okay, that doesn't actually cause an encounter, it just creates a bunch of noise.
And
Okay.
my second action is I'm going to use a tool in my hand. So let me discard a card and deactivate, because there's a computer in that room. Self-destruct.
Oh, nice.
Self-destruct key. If you're in a room with a computer, initiate or stop the self-destruct sequence. Oh, okay.
Yay. Okay, so Nathan, traitor. So yeah, all the event stuff happens. So I'll let you guys do that and see me die.
Okay. Well, the timer keeps on ticking for the hyperspace jump now.
Hibatorium's open. I can potentially make it there now.
Potentially. Safest
The
way is through the nest.
Intruder's
unfortunately.
attack, intruder fire damage. This guy takes a point. Event card.
There's a lot.
The
of text on
adults do not move. They stay where they are. Each character with a larva on their character board dies. Every character draws 4 cards from their deck and scans all drawn concatenation cards. Then discard the drawn cards.
there. Yeah, we're good. All right, bag development.
Bag development.
Well, it's a good thing that Nathan got off the ship when he did then.
Yeah.
Yay, larva.
That is a creeper. Remove this token from the intruder bag and add 1 breeder token to the bag.
Yeah, because that's even
Breeder
better.
token. Yeah, that's better.
So I will draw 4 cards. This is your punishment, Nathan. You have to sit here and watch me play.
Well, I mean, unless you were also rolled an X, it would just spawn something, and I'd be out of the escape pod too.
What's that?
Unless you also rolled an X, it would have spawned a alien, and then I'd also be drawn out of the escape pod and have to fight it.
It's true. So I'm going to play a tool, because that apparently repairs myself. I'm going to go ahead and discard this card. And I'll flip that. So now I get 5 cards again. My second action. I'm going to discard 2 cards to do a quiet movement.
Aren't you going to...
You're not going to
Destination?
do anything with the navigation?
Do I trust you?
Do you? I previously stated that Earth was C.
Yeah. I'm running out of time. All right, let's see if Dan is super treacherous.
You know what? I'm dead. I'm going to peek.
Well, tell me with your gasp. All right, that's literally it. I can't do anything else, so stuff happens.
Okay. This guy takes another point of fire damage. Doing things out of order. Sorry. Time marker.
When he takes fire damage, do we flip a card to see if he dies?
No. You only flip a card when I think the players deal damage. I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that.
I don't know. Who cares?
Intruders don't attack because they're not in the same room with you.
No.
Event
So basically,
card.
Vent.
Nobody moves because flammable counts guns. Put a fire marker in the hybernatorium.
Oh,
If the Hybertorium is already in fire, place a fire marker in each neighboring room.
It's not,
Okay.
but it is now.
So it's just the one fire marker that is added.
Yes, but that's also where he needs to go. So
Me. Okay.
And then bag development.
I'm sure this is gonna be great.
What's the worst that could happen?
You roll for noise. It's an adult token.
Oh,
Pretty sure there's no noise I can make that's good.
no, there isn't.
Oh no, there is an X, but it's 2.
An X.
So these all go away, and it's probably going to be a breeder, I guess, that I'm going to get.
It's going to
Here,
eat
we're
your
just gonna
face.
shuffle. There we go. Go ahead, pull it out of the bag, see what you get.
Man, I should have been mean, and I should have canceled Nathan's action. No, it's just an adult. It's fine.
Adult.
He will hit me though. Frenzy. So he doesn't.
Nothing happens. The adult symbol isn't on the card.
Yeah. So that puts it back to me. I'm back up to 5 cards now. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do a quiet movement. So
still to see if he attacks you as you escape.
Yeah, I have to do that in a second here. Get rid of these cards. All right.
You get a slime marker and a contamination card, it says.
I can't get contamination. But I can
Well, you
get
get a slime marker.
I'm not sure how to get rid of slime.
Use the clothes item, or I believe there might be a shower room.
Okay. So I don't roll for noise.
But that happens anyways.
Sure, but that doesn't bother me.
No, well, this guy moves into your room and attacks you.
Does he attack or just moves? Doesn't he still have to flip the thing? Or does he attack?
Yeah.
No, what do you call it? I'm sorry. It was the claw event marker on the item token.
But I don't know if he attacks too. Doesn't he just move in?
Don't remember.
I think he attacks, but I'm not sure.
No, he just moves in.
Okay.
And
Oh, that's
all
right,
noise markers get removed.
Yeah, no, he just moves in. That's all.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep going. We set this room to the item limit anyway, so I'm going to move here with double thing, but I still have to... I'll get rid of 2 cards in a second. We still have to flip another intruder card. Is that the last intruder card? Okay.
Yeah.
Claw attack. 2 light wounds. I don't get contamination. So I think I have... So...
Your first light
light
wound gives you a serious, and then, yeah, you get a new serious.
Well, I get 1 serious. Yep, 1 more serious.
You might actually survive.
No, I'm not going to survive, but I'm going to make you watch. Oh, that's not bad. So, still okay. This room has items?
1 left.
All right. Well, either way, I was leaving. I'm going to be out of cards in a second because I was going to leave the search in my hand and do the last search in there if there was, and there is. Oh, God. I'm going to die. And that's green, right?
That is yellow.
Yellow. Oh, well, I'm a robot, so that's helpful. That is bullpucky.
Bullpucky, he says. Excellent.
All right. Do your stuff, Dan.
Sorry, this is we're on the event phase again.
Yeah, I'm slowly trying to I'm gonna. So that's it for the event. This search should be 0. Yep.
Time marker. This guy ticks up a point because he's just sitting there in the fire,
Just roasting.
just roasting.
All right. Nothing attacks anything.
Event card. The adults move through corridor 2. So this guy moves this way.
Okay, this guy moves.
This guy moves into the hibernatorium.
I'm moving the ones below. I got them already.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Almost no way I'm going to survive this. But anyway,
Place a malfunction.
It's getting worse.
Place a malfunction marker in the explored room with the lowest room number. Shuffle this card back into the event deck.
just that card.
Just that card.
I don't know what room that is.
I'm sorry. The one with the lowest number would be 02 right there.
Yay. All right. So, bag development.
Bag development.
I pulled an adult. Yay, I'm slimed. So, a noise counter goes in every room. Oh, this is bad.
That just made it harder for you.
It's already bad. Does this room have anything left in it? It has 1. That's weapons. Oh, wait, the fire extinguisher was red, wasn't it? All right.
The fire extinguisher was red,
All
yeah.
right, so I got to draw up to 5.
No, I think it was yellow. I got one in yellow at least. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, you might be right.
No, the fire extinguisher was yellow. I see a yellow one in the discard pile.
All right, well, got to keep moving, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and discard 2 cards. To move on to this room. Wait, make sure I didn't want to discard the search. Efficiency, don't care. And then I'm going to search. So that room goes down to 0. And I get weapons.
Take my body with you.
Just slap it in the hibernatorium.
All right. For my next action, I'm just going to chuck a grenade into that room, and that guy just gets 2 damage.
Okie dokie.
And then flip over a card, see if he dies.
Nope.
Of course not. All right. Nothing left to search. What does this room do?
It allows you to check one room and its exploration token. So it allows you to know the identity of the rooms that we haven't explored yet.
Well, fudge. All right. Anyway, what does this do? Wow. All right. So I'm going to continue to make this game last forever. And go do your stuff. And
You're going to cut all this out, I hope.
me dying?
Yes. This is terrible watching
This
material.
Well, you know, it's entertaining trying to see the android try to survive.
Say time marker. No intruders attack because you're not in the same room with one.
No fire damage to this guy.
This guy takes another point of fire damage. He's probably dead at this point. He just takes a scratch.
This guy does too. Oh, you already did him. Yeah. I could probably walk into that room, melee attack that guy to death.
Unless you roll like Nathan does.
It's true.
Yeah. Event card.
I rolled well when it mattered. Escaping.
Resolve an
That is true.
encounter for each character who is in the nest or carrying an egg. Well, that doesn't happen.
No.
And then none of the creatures move because they're all adults, and that there's an adult symbol on the top of that card.
Intruder bag. Oh, gosh, dang it. Okay. Two. Oh, we're good.
Right in the path you wanted.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. There's no problems here. Great. So it's back to me. I have survived the longest in an alien-infested ship that is currently on fire. A lot.
Well, me and
True.
Dan are still alive, but we're just not on the ship anymore.
Yeah. That's
No,
true.
you guys don't count because you cheated. Deactivate.
You should be the do-gooder and take me with you. Leave no man behind.
All right. I wanted to save you. I tried. I tried so hard. Oh, man, there's no way around this. I'm going to have to take the long way and hope I live.
What do you mean the long way? What do you call it? There's a critter in there. You can normal move in.
No, because it's on fire, so I have to get the way to not have it on fire. So this is a quiet move.
What are you doing? Why do you care about it being on fire?
Well, you can't go into hibernation if it's on fire.
And
Hey,
you don't have
there's
a way
a
to
room.
put it out of fun. Yeah, you just found the fire control room.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Where's the token for that? Oh, it's right there.
Okay. So we got a door, which is going to go here.
Which is nothing more
behind.
than helpful.
Which is behind you.
What's the fire control suppression system? That will kill the things, too.
You can initiate the fire control procedure there. Yes.
Each intruder affected by the fire extinguisher or
Choose
fire
any
suffers
one
one injury.
room, discard a fire marker from that room if there is one, and all intruders in that room run away.
And suffer one injury.
Yeah, because with our research, right?
Yeah, so that's happening. So I'm going to discard 2 cards. And I'm going to put out the fire in this room. And that guy's going to suffer an injury. And run. Whoops. He's only at 4.
And then we just reveal an event card to determine what direction he runs in. He runs in direction 3, which is down this way.
All right. Can someone check to see if the things get injured, do they check to see if they die? Someone double check that.
Okay.
What do you call it? I'm pretty sure that the injury check is only mentioned in the section that mentions combat.
I discarded a search, so I'm searching yellow.
Combat.
Man, I might make it. I might just make it.
But the question is, are you pointed toward Earth and are the engines working?
I can only hope. All right, so while Dan's figuring out whether things die, well, actually, it's really important for the next part if they actually die or not. But I'll go ahead and start the stuff. So nothing's in areas that.
Okay, no, they do check for injuries from fire. It is true.
So they're going to get another damage right now already. So we have a 5 and a 5. So flip the first one.
So one of them's a 6,
which is a 5.
The other one's a 4.
So they both
So
die.
one of these will die.
Yeah,
No, one
both.
of them's but they take one less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they both die.
All right.
Yeah. Is there any other aliens on the board? Or is that?
Yeah.
Bomb.
Yeah. There's one more adult somewhere, right?
Yeah, he's
Yep.
over here. All right.
And there's one up front.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Nothing
he's changing-
moves.
The one up front's changing the destination.
No, it's not.
Changing
It
to
says-
the alien homeworld.
Yeah, it says each intruder heals up to 2.
But there's not. It's fine. It's all fine. Now this is the bad part. The bag development. What is that?
That
That's the,
is a breeder.
queen.
All players roll from noise in order. If a player character is in combat with intruder, this player does not perform a noise. Okay, it's the same as an adult, pretty much in this step.
Hey, good. But I'm slimed, so everything gets a thing.
And oh yeah, there is already one in the
Technical quarter.
technical.
All right. Well, I draw up. Yeah. Wouldn't you be pissed if I survive? This would be bad.
Did you guys remember to move the event? The time tracker.
I think so. Just move it down again anyway, because I won't live that long.
You'll either be dead or in the Hybertorium before then, hopefully.
Well, I have to do what I have to do.
I don't know what you need to do.
Survive. I'm seeing what this card does again. All right. Before I do anything else, I'm reloading my ammo to full. So that card lets me do that. I will discard recharge because I don't care. All right. And then I'm going to do quiet movement to here.
Emergency room. One item.
Great.
Another door.
All right. Doing quiet movement here.
Comms room.
Get slimed.
I'm already slimed. Can't be more slimed. All right. All right, Dan. Do your horrible stuff. This is next turn. I can maybe make it. We'll see.
All right. Tick. What else? What else happens? Blah. Oh, you got rid of the stupid
What's that?
quick reference. There it is. Time marker, no intruder attack, no fire.
Yeah, down to
Event.
3 turns.
The adults do move through corridor 1, so that's that one there, and this one.
Self-destruct game. That card gets removed from the game.
There's a malfunction marker in the generator room.
Yeah.
Where's the generator room? Right there.
Yeah.
There isn't. Start the self-destruct counter.
So you're good.
Oh, so it has to have a malfunction thing in it. Okay.
That is correct.
So remove that from
Reshuffle
there.
the event deck.
What?
Reshuffle the event deck. Not that it matters.
Sure.
Yeah, you remove that card from the game, though, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, yay, I get to draw up to 5 cards and try to live another day.
You have to send the signal, don't you? That's why you were looking for the comms room.
No, it's the only way that I can get there with the highest probability of not getting attacked multiple times.
Hover over the deck and hit 5.
No. All right, so it's going to be quiet movement to here.
Sure.
You don't make noise go into here because there's already an intruder there.
Yeah, you spend one.
Wait, didn't he
action
move?
point. He did move.
Oh, he moved.
He
there.
moved into there from here.
Frisian monkeys. This is getting worse and worse. Actually, I'm going to go out with a blaze of glory.
Sure.
So I am going to not do a silent move. into here.
You don't have to roll.
Yeah.
Oh, I
because
don't
there's
have to roll?
Yeah, because there's a guy there.
I want to roll. I don't want to fight 2. Dang it.
You don't have to fight 2. There's one there.
No.
You don't have to roll.
I do have to. Well, I guess I got 1 chance of rolling an X. Dang
No,
it.
you don't have to roll.
You
If there's
don't
a
have to roll.
intruder
Yeah,
or a-
there's
No, you
there's
don't
an
understand.
intruder.
You don't understand. I have to kill him
right.
and then roll to get out.
To hibernate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's probably the best thing.
Oh yeah, no, he's dead. He's totally dead.
All right,
I approve.
we're gonna try to hitting him.
Miss.
I'm doing a second hit because I have it. That's a hit.
That's one.
All right, flip the card.
If he's
Not gonna kill
dead.
him.
Oh no, he
One's
didn't.
not gonna kill him.
It can. There is one in there.
I think the slowest card I saw was a 3.
Should
I
be
think
a
there
1.
was a 2 earlier.
There's a 1 for a larva or something. Anyway, do your stuff. This guy's gonna attack me.
Okay. Tick first, right?
Yep.
Then the intruder attacks. The intruder attack card is a scratch. Suffer 1 light wound.
Okay. Next event.
No fire damage happens, right? Okay, no, just event. The adults don't move. Hunt. Move every adult not in combat to a neighboring room with a character. Where's the other adult? Okay, not next to you. All right.
Yep. All right. Bag development. Oh, that's awesome. Sort of.
What'd you kill? Adult. That's a noise roll, right? Yeah, that's just a noise roll.
It doesn't matter what I roll. Just pull what I get because
Well, unless you're rolling that. Oh
No.
no, it doesn't matter.
the only time it all
No,
matters when I try to escape.
I'm sorry, you don't roll the noise roll if you're in combat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If a character is in combat with an intruder, the player does not perform this noise roll.
Oh, so then I don't have to worry about anything showing up. All right. Back to me. Heaven's like, what did I get myself into? That's the only thing odd about this game is I don't know if I like the player elimination necessarily without having a way of easily ending it quickly. Because right now I'm just going to keep punching this thing until it dies or I die.
One of you die. Yeah.
And then I'm going to do this again in a second.
In theory, it's set up so that it should end quickly, but it doesn't have to.
Well, it doesn't matter what I roll. Oh, I rolled the wrong die. See, I'm getting tired. Yay! He gets punched in the face.
Okay, let's flip a card. See what he. Oops. Flip.
4.
4 left.
Still there.
Okay. I am going to now do the punching in the face. This is
Oh, the punching. The actual punching?
in
Sure.
the face. Come on. Someone lock it. There we go. Hey, he gets hit.
Roll.
So he's at 4.
He's at 3.
Okay, flip. What's happening?
Oh, my gosh.
What?
We just had a bad lag bubble there.
Yeah, that's why he thought the dice didn't roll, I guess.
Okay. Now somebody flip a card. I'm not going to do it.
He dies.
He died.
Nice. Interesting art on these.
All right. I am
To
going
make it
to
distinctly
go
different
ahead
from Alien.
and recharge once for my weapon. Then I am going to, because this is how I have to do it. What do I have to roll? How many do I have to do to try to do a hibernation?
I'm saying just a noise roll. Or you talk to the action. I think it's a 2. All the room actions are 2s.
It's here.
Well, I do have my 2. So I'm just going to discard all the noise counters.
Yeah, because it's going to cause an encounter.
So I get my encounter. I don't have any cards in my hand, so it doesn't really even matter.
Oh, so not only is this going to cause an encounter, but you're going to get surprised by whatever monstrosity shows up. Sounds great. Go for it. You get a breeder.
Ooh.
Okay, while you're positioning that, I'm going to see what horrible thing happens to me here. Scratch, suffer 1 light wound. Alright, so I get my 3rd thing. And let's just see what happens. Go ahead and do your stuff, and let's see if I die now, which is probably going to happen.
Event card. The thing
first,
attacks.
Yeah, the first attacks. Let's see what happens.
Attacks.
Yeah, I'm dead.
The breeder is another scratch.
Yep, that killed me.
Okay.
Oh, I tried so hard.
Yeah.
Right. So Dan...
Milky blood everywhere.
Dan passes the survival test automatically. Nathan...
All right, so, no, wait a second. I need to know the...
What do you need to know?
Status of the ship. What was the stat? You guys peeked at engine 3. What was engine 3?
It was clear.
It was clear? Okay.
1 was clear.
All right. And then we're pointed at Earth because he did change it to sea.
Did you need it to be Earth?
So my objective, this was actually the friendly objective. The ship must reach Earth, and like it didn't blow up, and it did enter hyperspace. So technically the ship did reach Earth, or I have to be the only character to survive. So I actually did complete my objective.
Cool.
Okay.
So Nathan needs to shuffle his deck completely. And so shuffle it up, draw 4 cards.
I did not get a contamination.
All right. Did
Okay,
Nathan meet
so
his
what's your
objective?
objective?
I had a choice between either being a BFF with Dan
You
or
and at least
killing
one other
Dan.
character must survive.
Oh, come on.
Nice.
My
Nice.
other option was specifically to kill Dan.
I would have specifically killed Dan.
I was
right.
really tempted, but we were.
You were lucky I decided to go change it to Earth.
Evan, you died, but what was yours? What was the one that you decided to keep?
So I had to finish the game in an escape pod and have at least 7 items.
Wow, that's a lot of
Wow.
items.
So mine was super easy. At
least 2 intruder wings. You had to survive and do that, though, right?
But when it was done,
No, you can't-
just had to survive.
You can't win unless you survive. Period.
Yeah. That's awkward. Like we vacated the ship, only 2 people lived, and we have 2 winners and 2 not winners among players.
Yeah, and one player played for an extra 45 minutes.
To an hour, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 12:15. All right, folks.
Out of spite.
Out of spite. All
Well,
right.
it's kind of revenge because you kind of led me to my death in the last game.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, that was our playthrough of Nemesis. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.